Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the EA Sports F1 Creator Series. And what a pleasure it is to be back as well. We are currently in the midst of the Japanese Grand Prix weekend in real life, and also now in the virtual world as well, as our greatest creators in the F1 space are now looking to do battle around the circuit of Suzuka. We can't wait for this one, round 2 of this season's championship. Last time out, it was Alex Gillen who would take an unprecedented W around Brazil, but this time around, it could yet be a very different affair indeed. My name is, of course, George Morgan, your commentator. Joining me as well is Jess Ball. Jess, looking forward to this one. Welcome back to the commentary box. We've got a fantastic race ahead of us, certainly a very technical circuit. Suzuka, full of danger, yet though, lots of action. We generally see it around this track. It has everything, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's one of my favourite tracks in general on the F1 calendar as well, due to the S section. Of course, we've got 130R as well, the Dunlop curves. There's just so much action that the drivers can negotiate around this circuit. And it's been on the F1 calendar for quite a long time. 1987 it first joined Formula One. And since the calendar, obviously, the Creator Series is a bit shorter, not many chances for people to get back into this if they have poor races. But we got a sprint again, so second chances for maybe drivers that struggled last week, and maybe chance for drivers who weren't here last week to get their points, their first points of the season.
Great to see you guys as well in the live chat as well. But tell you what, it's very busy in there, so keep staying tuned in. Let's take you through, though, the current calendar that we have for this brand new season of the F1 Creator Series. We have started already. It all kicked off at Sao Paulo, didn't it, for round 1 on the 30th of March. We're now here on the 6th of April at Japan. Suzuka, the destination. Vote GP comes up after this, and then we head to China at Shanghai on the 20th of April, and then a trip to Marina Bay for the Singapore Grand Prix on the 27th of April too. USA is then our next trip, Miami, the destination there on the 4th of May. And then the Mystery GP on the 11th of May takes us through to when we witness the release of the F1 24 game. It's going to be absolutely stellar. Can't wait for it. Let's have a reminder as well of the standings post-Brazil. Of course, only one round completed, but a shortened season. But Tiamat Marduk topping the billing, topping the standings, because of the amount of points he managed to collate, despite Alex Gillen winning that intermediate tyre championship points, and not to mention fastest lap. It was vital for Ben. And not only that, he picked up driver of the day as well.
Yeah, it was great to see this format really rewarding the consistency. Consistency is key, and Team at Marduk did very well in the sprint and the feature, which kind of helped him a little bit as well. And obviously Alex Gillen scoring some points in the main race where it counted as well. And obviously you got the likes of obviously Skyzy and Tom doing quite decent as well, but there were people that may have done well in the sprint, not done so well in the feature, and that's why they're lower down as well there as well. But we got the likes of GB68. He's back this week after missing last week as well. So chance of getting him on the board as well. And don't forget, the relegation system is back in full swing as well. So if you don't have some good race rounds in the next couple of rounds, you may force yourself to be in the playoffs for potentially the first time. And you don't want that, because you want to make sure your F1 spot is secure heading into F1 24.
You certainly do. Now, let's talk about a few names, Jess, because we've got quite a few to look out for. Now, the one big tipping point, I don't think he's here tonight, but Yorpa. What an opening round for him. Debutant this season. I was very excited about him joining us. Of course, a Williams ambassador coming into this new season. And he really did electrify, didn't he? His strategy was on point. The pace was definitely on point. I would say over the whole race itself, he was definitely one of the fastest drivers. Unfortunately, coming towards the very end, the strategy, again, just kind of went against him. We had such a plethora of safety cars, probably the most safety cars we have seen in over a whole season of Creator Series, but Yorpa taking to the Creator Series like a duck to water, and we hope we get to see him back as well.
Yeah, it's great to see newbies like that fight up near the top as well, and it just shows that anyone who joins quite early on and into their Creator Series journey can get the good points easily as well, and it gives people a chance. Hey, if anyone can do it, I could do it too. And I have to say, Yorpa was fighting with the top guys for a lot of the race, and I was generally really impressed with his consistency. He's not here tonight though, because he's only a reserve, but I would like to see him back next time out. Hopefully you'll get another chance to fit in someone else who can't make it.
Absolutely right indeed. Now let's also talk to our man with all the clip books at hand. It is F1 Scott. Scott, how are you doing, sir? Great to have you back with us as well. The clip book mastermind. I tell you what, leaving no stone unturned. We always love hearing from you, Scott. And obviously, I think you're going to be a busy man tonight. Suzuka is well known. We've already seen Logan Sargent bidding it at the top of turn 7. So what the likelihood of us seeing that in the virtual sense tonight?
Especially when we have a shorter sprint, I think it might actually be quite likely. But there's multiple parts in this track where there can be big incidents happen. We've seen it earlier on today. We've seen it in real life. We've seen it. It's honestly one of the best tracks in the world, with one of the best first sectors in the world as well. And yes, Clipbook Scott is back. I am ready. I'm going to be combing through all these amazing content creators and finding the chaos, the carnage, the controversy, whatever they're cooking. I will be getting it ready for you guys throughout this event. Pleasure to be back. Thanks for having me.
Fabulous. I tell you what, Scott, we couldn't do it without you. Let me just say that. But yeah, we can't wait for this. Obviously, just let's digest Suzuka for a minute, because we are going to be heading across their sprint race. You're absolutely right. That is going to be what we're going to be up against. Sorry if you see me peering over my screen, because I've got my monitor here with the race on, so just try to keep an eye on it to make sure we don't miss a thing. But yes, Suzuka, a slalom in the first sector. You've got fast bends coming through the Degners, the hairpin, a heavy braking zone, an opportunity for overtaking there, Jess, and then the long trip down the 130R. Where are the hot points tonight?
Well, of course, turn 1. There could be people going one running rider now. I think there was a few people during the practice sessions throughout the week. They were a bit worried with the open lobbies that they could cause a bit of chaos. You got the S's, the tricky S section. If you get one bit wrong, that's going to set your lap really into throughout the rest of the race as well. And I was listening to Sky Sports F1, and Jensen Button was talking, and I think most people only get the S's right once. So if you get it consistently right throughout the race, you're golden. Then you got the hairpin. You can see overtakes there around the outside. Spoon curb as well. You can see people go for dive bombs there as well and make it work. The infamous 130R, you would need a bit of straight line speed for that, but I know a lot of people will be running a lot of downforce. And then the final corner, only one DRS zone tonight, so I think the main corners to look out for overtakes is the first corner into the Calcio Triangle and into the hairpin as well, just after the first sector.
Yeah, and Scott, obviously yourself, you'll be looking at all the incidents. Where are the hot points as far as you're concerned tonight?
Well, yeah, I mean, where isn't, right? I feel like every turn there could be collisions. I'm going to be frantically running around, especially with the new format for the short season as well, which I think is so cool. We're going to have the sprint race as well. Don't get me wrong, I love qualifying, I do, but I like racing as well, especially when it's Japan. Especially, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see everyone sort of testing each other out in the sprint race. We might see a few collisions there as well. There's not as many points on offer. People need to find where their pace is, how much space are they going to be given. Hopefully in the feature race we kind of figured this out. Sorry, feature race, I'm too much in F2 now. And the main event, we'll see hopefully a bit more cordial action. But at the end of the day, we have these amazing creators and they're fast and they want the points, and no one wants to be in this relegation. Even though the playoffs are an absolute banging system, I think it's such a cool thing that we've brought into it. If I'm in F1, I don't want to be there. If I'm in F2, all I want to do is be there.
There's nothing cordial about Creator Series, Scott. I'll tell you that now. Have you seen Alex Gillen and Tiamat Marduk? War of Words. I tell you, every time. They've got the weirdest relationship I have ever seen in all my life. But yeah, incredible. We've just had free practice come to an end, so we're just about to get ready for the sprint race. I want to ask you guys as well in the live chat for your predictions. Please make sure that you land them in the chat. We want to hear from you in both Twitch and YouTube. Let us know you're there as well. Let's see some W's in the chat. Jess, over to you. What's your tip? Who do you think is going to take the victory in the sprint?
Oh, it's quite an interesting one. I need to actually check to see the running order in terms of who's doing well in the sprint in order to do that as well. I'm just trying to find the post that Razin put earlier, but I can't seem to find it. But there are certain drivers that I'm potentially going to keep my eye on, watching out, coming their way up from the back. It's his reserve. We got Yorit, who's back as a reserve again today. The SRC guru, he loves SRC. Massive shout out to SRC, by the way. That is where a lot of the creators are running the setups from. Watch out for him. Of course, the likes of GB, he'll be starting near the front. I do believe that was one of the tracks he got his first ever sprint race win as well. He's known for the sprint race win as well. I'm trying to get the post up where it says the order, but I just can't find it. So I'll come back to me for that one, because I need to find it first.
Well, I tell you what, you're not the only one to mention Yorit. Invade Matt in the chat on Twitch has already alluded to Yorit winning the sprint. So obviously some big plaudits there. Sky is going to win today. That says Orange's 6. Banana God with the W in the chat. Big shout out to you as well. Thank you for getting involved. Zabrazak also saying Ben Daly. Scott, who do you think's going to take this one?
Well, I'm actually looking at the sprint as well. I did find the information. Looking at who's up the top, who I think's really consistent, I think GB has been given a great chance because it's that reverse grid. He's right up the top there. He's fast. We know how fast he is, and he's usually very consistent, other than the odd sort of funny mistake that we'll see from a lot of our creators. If he just stays out of there, GB in second, looking good. But we've also got David Kissick, we've got MSkyZ, right? Like, I don't know. It's a tough question. Everyone's so fast.
I've thrown you guys right under the bus. But nevertheless, we are going to move across because we have got the race coming up shortly. So, Scott, we're going to leave you to it. We'll be back with you very shortly. They're currently going on the formation laps. We'll be back with you, I'm sure, during the course of the race. So, goodbye, Scott. We'll see you soon. But yes, Jess, we're now going to move into, obviously, all the action now here at the F1 Creator Series. As you can see, we are now in amongst it. El Rey Guri leading the field as he now gets set to get us underway here at Suzuka. The first race that we're going to be bringing you here, while it's over a shorter distance, we will be bringing you a full-on race later on as well. GB68 right in his tail. His first appearance in the Creator Series this season in Season 6. So could it be his day, Jess?
I think that's the man I'm going to keep my eye on as well. And also Alvaro Guri starting in the front. Those two weren't here last week. And with the rules of the sprint, for those of you that are new to F1 Creator Series, the lower points that you've got, so if you got, like, say, 1 point, so the ones who are near the bottom of the championship full time, they'll be starting at the front of the grid, and then the ones who did well in the races last week, like Team Mardigal, will be starting for the back. So I think Alra and GB are going to have some great fights to the first corner as well. Maybe Curbs can hold his own as well. And, of course, we've got the reserve starting at the back. So I did say Yorit could climb up a little bit, but he's going to have a little bit of a tall order, but there could be some interesting things that goes on here. But I'm keeping my eye on the front too, especially because we know that they could be very, very quick on their day. But we know what El Rey Guri can do. He's got pace, and I mean a lot of pace.
A lot can happen over 9 laps, folks. 3.615 miles around Suzuka. Lots of treachery, lots of danger. Challenges around every corner. I can already see in the live chat, Oranges saying Zafsa the man to watch. He's really good at starts. You're not wrong. Season 1 champion as well, not forgetting. As well, sticking with Yorit in the sprint races, Invade Matt. GB as well, tactically missing out to next week to start from the front. You might be right there too. Who knows? But yes, Skinny Edit saying Ben is winning 100%. Keep your comments coming in, folks. We certainly do love to hear from you, whether you're watching on YouTube or indeed Twitch. Also, check out the social medias as well at F1 Creator Series on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Plenty of reels being shared as we now see the drivers making their way up towards the starting grid. Front row for El Rey Guri, the Spaniard looking to deliver as he has done so time and time again, battling up at the very front. He has, though, had his challenges in the past. Will someone rise to the occasion and meet him in towards turn 1? It could yet be GB68 pulling that feat off, to say the least. We've got split strategies across the order. Number of drivers utilising both mediums and softs throughout this grid. More mediums than softs, but here come the lights now as we go racing at Suzuka. 4 lights and the 5th light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 go. A great start from GB68 off the 2nd spot on the grid. He's going to go for the lead immediately. The Aston Martin now hits the front and now looks to duel its way through the stick section here at Suzuka. Battles for the back, Curbs now down to 4th as Peya moves up to 3rd fastest. Further back, yellow flags in the first sector as well. Oh, it's chaos, it's carnage. Razin is round, a safety car out in the first sector on the opening lap. Oh, there's body parts everywhere.
Well, I did say the S's could be an issue, George, and it was. Pretty much everybody who was involved, I think it was from 12th downwards. A lot of front wings being flying about. I think Hayden's lost his front wing. Damien, I think, has got his front wing intact. We've got Meraki, who's got his front wing damage as well. They're all dropping to the back of the grid. And there was a lot of people that had to slow right down just to avoid the carnage, and they're probably going to try and make their way through. But a safety car in a sprint race, well, it's not surprising that we've got a safety car in the Creator Series around Japan. We had it in F2, so F1 doesn't want to miss out on the fun, so they were like, boom, safety car.
Well, drama, it has to be said, and a welcome return for many drivers. I'm sure they didn't perhaps certainly factor in that this could be something that we would witness in the opening lap alone. But then again, it is Suzuka. There is a slalom in that opening sector. We said it would be the main danger. GB68, though, unperturbed at the front. He got the best getaway he could have wished for, Jess.
Yeah, he did. He managed to go down the inside of El Reguri, and he didn't look back as well. He's got to make sure he gets the launch that he needs to in the restart, because he's going to be the one controlling it. He's got to think, when will El Reguri think that GB's got to go? He's got to think ahead of what the others are going to be doing, because you got to catch them out in order to do this as well. So this is going to be a great position for him, but there's going to be people around him that are going to get the toe. But in tracks like Japan, you want to start near the front as possible, because turn 1 is always a danger around here, especially with safety cars. But pretty much, as predicted, we've got everyone from 12th downwards coming in for a fresh set of rubber. They're going on softs, George. We'll see if they can make it to the end. Matty D obviously stayed out on those soft tyres. They don't have to pit in the sprint, remember. They could stay on those tyres until the end of the race if they wanted to. So pretty much half the grid are gambling by staying out, and people had no other choice to pit. But there's some people that didn't get any front wing damage. They want some fresh rubber. I'm liking the mixture of strategies.
Well, speaking of gambles, I'm going to head across to Scott. I'm going to gamble to see whether he's got a clip ready on that one. Scott, over to you.
Yes, I am here, and I have Razen's POV ready for you. Very unfortunate. Razen was just kind of caught up here. Look at Ches. Look at Ches in 3, 2, 1 in a couple of seconds. Sorry, coming into this corner. Keep an eye. Boom, touch, spin, damage, takes Razen. The whole field has to get out of the way. Nothing Razen could have done. Very unfortunate for Ches. Obviously not deliberate, as we see absolute carnage behind. That is what happened.
Scott, I mean, how do you analyse something like that? I mean, turn 1, I mean, it's impossible, right? I mean, 4 cars off right in front of Razin, even after he'd already spun, rejoins the circuit, debris across the track. No surprises that we've got a safety car.
No surprises there. I'll keep on hunting for more clips, but that will keep us up to date on what happened.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that, Scott. Really appreciate it. As always, let's head back to the track. As you can see, GB68 still leading the way. What's baffling to me, it hasn't taken long for those drivers that started on the medium tyres to actually fortify themselves further up. But then I look down, and there are several cars, not even those that have actually been involved in that first incident. Most of them, some of them, have come in to swap on to new soft tyres. And Hayden Gullis is in again.
Hayden is in again, so, he's serving his 5 seconds. I don't blame him. I think Dave Gaming is going to be doing exactly the same. You're right, you're near the back, so you don't want to have that advantage at the end there as well. But it didn't take that long for everybody just to catch up. It's just such a short lap. I'm going to throw in my predictions on who to watch out for in this restart, as it were. Team at Marduk, the first man on fresh rubber, on no softs. We know he can climb his way up the order from where he is, so watch out for him. Watch out for Jake as well. Watch out for Yorit. Pretty much watch out for everyone that's coming into the pits as well, because they're all fast drivers. Razin Chai would want to redeem himself from being caught up in the pileup. For some people, from Scott's angle, they had nowhere to go, so it is going to be interesting. But my money is Team at Marduk is going to try and climb his way up through the field, because he's not going to stay behind in 12th place for long. He wants to get past as many people as he can.
Yeah, Rikirikon as well, and it's quite appropriate that someone called Rikirikon, we could call him Rick, I suppose, in a way. We do have a Danny Rick in AlphaTauri in real life, so a Rikirikon doesn't sound too far apart. He's currently
sat in the AlphaTauri.
He is in the AlphaTauri, so it's quite appropriate. Currently sat in 11th place and having a good start as well. F1 Damien sat in 13th as well. So plenty of new faces, new names joining the grid. Great to see Jan van Heffen back. He's in the sister AlphaTauri here tonight as well. Currently sat 15th fastest here in the sprint race. Further back, Hayden Gullis now up at that pit stop, 19th. With Dave Gaming in behind. They're on the freshest tyres of anybody as we get confirmation that the safety car is coming in this lap. So it's all down now to GB68 to get us back and running here in the EA Sports F1 Creator Series. Great to be back live, folks. Great having you all here in the live chat as well. I'm seeing lots of support for Rikirikon already. So make sure you keep on hammering it in the chat, guys. We want to hear from you. Keep it coming as now GB68 heads out of the Casio Triangle chicane, down the stretch, past the start-finish line, and we'll put pedal to the metal for the second time in the sprint race now. Heading down in towards turn one, the Aston Martin still out in front. El Rey Geary following him through, though, as well. And they've managed to detach to a certain point away from all the cars in behind. The top three separating as Zafso has moved up into P4.
Zafso had a very good start off the line. The rest of the drivers were caught napping in the S's, but everyone else through the S's, I think, has made it much cleaner as well. So a lot of people were taking it cautious through this restart because they don't want the same thing to happen thus far as well. Watch out for Team at Marduk as he climbs his way up once again, but we got side-by-side action happening in Degna 2 as we've got the hats of Alex Gooden trying to go side-by-side with Matty D into the hairpin. Is he going to make the move stick? It's going to be very tricky for him, but we got Tom the Bomb that's fighting for him as well. Just in this middle part of Sector 2, Alex Gooden is up to 7th. He's on the charge as well. Don't count him out for some decent points in this race.
Yeah, last week, the winner at the Brazilian Grand Prix, and didn't he do it well, folks? Making his way out of Spoon Curve, though Matty D13 might yet get a run, heading around 130R. The mean-looking Papaya McLaren now looks to perhaps he's shooting the warning shots, firing every which way behind the rear wing on the Haas car, but Alex Gillen committing here once again against Infractic, Tim and Marduk's teammate, of course, here in the Ferrari outfit in the F1 Creator Series. Gillen with a lovely run, heading into the final chicane, both of them powered by Ferrari powertrains, heading in towards turn one. Gillen risking it for a biscuit. He's going to make the move up to P6 for Alex Gillen, and has now risen above Infratic, and he's now looking for a move on curbs in his Williams.
He's looking the more consistent out of these drivers at the moment. He wanted to give space. He licked the stamp and he sent it. It was brilliant. And Tom's trying to do the same thing into Dunlop Curve. That was an amazing move from Tom. And we got Skyzy who's trying to do the same thing as well. So Tom, Alex Gillen, Skyzy, they're not messing around. They started lower down because of how well they did last week in Brazil, but they want to make some moves up ASAP, and I just love the reverse grid. It's just awesome. Team at Marduk trying to do the same thing on the hairpin, past Matty D in towards the middle part of Sector 2. He's done it. He's now got to try and get past M Skyzy. They've fight with each other before in the past. Oh, I love this because you're getting drivers who are really, really fast trying to climb their way against drivers who may are not getting used to starting in front. And then we got drivers at a similar pace trying to get the best out of each other. This is great. Can we have this more often? Yes, we are, because we're going to have this for the rest of the season.
We certainly will. Tim and Marduk now up into the top 10, makes it 2 Ferraris now in the top 10 as a consequence. Here comes Meraki straight away down the inside in towards the Casio Triangle chicane, wheel to wheel now with the AlphaTauri of Rikirikon, and now the Williams sprints onwards, foot to the floor on the accelerator as now Meraki sprints into P12. Great move, but he might be in trouble again. Rikirikon looking to fire back. The Mexican sensation looks around the outside, can't quite find a way through, but it will be Meraki in 12th place. And next on his list is Matty, but he's got a little bit of work to do to close that gap. Meanwhile, up in the top 10, Alex Gillen, warning, curb certainly in front of him here, firing all over the back, front wing to rear wing, as now the Williams comes under convincing pressure. This sprint race has been relentless, unbelievably. We've only got 3 laps to go.
Yes, not that long until the end, and not that long for people to make some moves. El Rey Geary right on the back of GB68, so watch out for him. But we got Alex Gillen trying to go and dive up the inside of curbs in towards the hairpin. Can he do it? Yes, he can. And Infratic is following curbs through, and he's got past as well.
Certainly has managed to make his way around 230R. It was just prior to 230R, in fact, and Curbs losing out 2 places within one sector. But now Curbs coming back down the inside out of Spoon Curve. That's a sensational move there from Curbs, one of his very best, dare I say. And Tom is looking to follow him through as well. Two blue cars uprighting a Ferrari. Infratic paying the price. Emphatically indeed, heading through 130R now. The Ferrari looking to try and come back down the inside from Tom as he looks to defend the place. And the two Ferraris battling like they did last week. It's Tim and Mardik and Infratic wheel to wheel and nearly made contact on the outset of the chicane.
That was very close. That could have been Ferrari Civil Wars, but there could be another Ferrari Civil War in terms of engine. As Skyzy trying to get past one of the Ferraris of Emphatic, and Emphatic trying to defend, and we've got 3 more laps to go. Anything can happen. DRS has been enabled now. So, as Radley tries out the session, he's retired in the pit lane, so he has had enough.
Yeah, I think he just had a little bit too much work to do, unfortunately, and has bowed out, no doubt, to prepare himself for the feature race. Tiamat Mardik, who's now ahead of his teammate, Infratic now behind Skyzy after that squabble between the two Ferraris and the Sauber as they now power their way out of the second Degners. There's such a vast train of cars, and now diving down the inside is Tiamat Mardik. The Aussie now moves up to 7th. He has now moved ahead of Curbs and now gunning after Tom in his Alpine. Alpine currently sitting 5th and 6th in this classification. Safso and Tom no doubt trying to work together as now Skyzy goes in on the attack against Curbs as well.
I did say people try and go for the moves in Spoon Curve and people didn't believe me, but these guys are proving that you can overtake around Suzuka. It's absolutely incredible. From 130R, we get to start to see who has made all the right stuff in terms of downforce and who is made of straight line speed today. You've got to find the right balance to get the car fit in all the right places. Tom had a bit of a slide coming out of the final corner, which will allow Tiamat Mardik to go side by side. Teammates in for play career, well, their rivals here. As Tiamat Mardik on the softs, he gets past Tom, says thank you very much. He's up to P6.
Yeah, penultimate lap in the sprint race. Alray Guri has been pressuring GB68, but a mistake in the first sector from the Red Bull has now lent an opportunity to Paya to break into the top 2. So it's not all said and done yet. GB68, despite holding on to the lead. How's your nerves, GB? First race back in the Creator Series. Missed last time at Brazil, but now here for the first time in Season 6 and could yet open his account in the best possible way. Now nurses a gap of 0.8 of a second between he and P2 Alray Guri. The Spanish god now looking to try and hold on here as now Paya looks to try and relentlessly close the gap. And I tell you what, Alray in danger of losing DRS here.
Yeah, GB is on another level. He knows that Alray Guri is catching, so he wants to break free of DRS at the end of this lap because you don't have that long to really try and get past on the final lap if he does have DRS. And he knows that Alray's pushing. Alray's definitely pushing now. As I said that, he's burning his ERS. He wants to get a good run heading in towards the last corner. It is absolutely beautiful from the pair of them. I think we're going to see an absolute fight between those two until the end of this race. But we are on the final lap now. Let's see if GB68 can hold it. If GB68 hold it, I need to try and find out when his last sprint race win is. It might be here, it might be someone else, but Sasso getting past Alex Gillen, but Alex Gillen's going to fight back, George.
Yeah, Alex Gillen is not going to let that slide whatsoever. Wheel to wheel now. You would never recommend this. Outside from Alex Gillen, a switch back from Sasso. A great effort, but Gillen said no and held on to 4th. A brilliant move, to say the least, by the Brazilian Grand Prix winner. And now in comes Tiamat Mardik, rival of Alex Gillen. Of course, those two know each other, that's for sure. And now Tiamat Mardik goes wide, losing it out in certainly a wheel-to-wheel battle with Safso. It sent him off of the Degners, forcing through now Tom with a great chance here to break against the Aussie in the Ferrari as they break under the hairpin again. It's Skyzy now hunting them down as they now go 2 by 2 once again. This time Skyzy and Tom try to spar it out here. Tiamat Mardik in trouble. Here comes Tom now through Spoon Curve. He's going the long way. Will it work? They remain wheel to wheel. Who's going to come out on top here, Jess? It's Tiamat Mardik who takes P6 away, but it's not all said and done. But we will go to the front because, of course, we've got a battle for the lead. It It's GB68. El Rey Guri, wheel to wheel through the Catio triangle. It's El Rey Guri with a nose, with a car. He'll come up towards the line in the sprint race for the first time. A victor in the F1, certainly the eSports F1 Creator Series. What a finish, what a race. Action across the board, even a safety car. Astounding result for El Rey Guri.
That was incredible. He waited until the last possible moment. He put the pressure until the very end, and GB68 did not have time to respond. El Rey Guri was very smart there, and Peyo was right on the back of those because of those two squabbling. It was around 2/100ths of a second between Peyo and GB68, so a very good drive from Peyo in third place as well. But even though there was a safety car, some big scraps there. Obviously, Alex Gillen coming from 16th to 4th. But a great fight from the front too. I wish we could have this every week, but we will. And we still got we got short qualifying and the main race still to go.
Yeah, El Rey Guri confirmed your winner. GB68 second, Peyo in third, Alex Gillen, Zasso, Tom, Tiamat Marduk, M Sky Z, Meraki, Curbs, Emphatic, Matty D13, Rakiricon. We got Noguera, F1 Damien, Yorian Van Heffen, Hayden Gullis, Dave Gaming, Chesnoid Gaming as well, and Rastin Chai unfortunately DNFing earlier on. But truly impeccable. What a moment. We certainly witnessed a huge battle there, Jess. A feast for the eyes of many that enjoy, certainly enjoy battling on the F1 game. We've seen many in the past. I mean, it's truly, truly sensational. Scott, I'm going to throw it to you for your analysis. What do you make of that?
Other than one of the most chaotic lap ones that we've seen, that was actually, it was weird, right? So we had like half the grids at one point, almost like all over the place at lap 1, but on like the final lap we've seen one of the greatest like racing laps I've seen in so long. I think that was incredible. I have some updates for you of just what happens. I've got a couple from lap 1, and then I've got that last turn move. So this is Noguera's position as we're coming into lap 1. We did see Chesnoid obviously having that bit of contact, but this just shows you more of the actual carnage that kind of happened here. So as we're coming into this, it's hard enough to get one car around this part, never mind all these cars. So everyone starts spinning around, getting done, and as you can see, just absolute carnage of everyone just getting caught up behind. We have another, I thought you'd maybe want to see another one of that, so I've got Ben Daly's Tiamat Marduk ready for us as well. Let's give that a try and see how that's looking. So, coming into the same bit, he's a lot further back, so as we see, Hayden had to have slowed down a lot there. Something went wrong with that. May have actually worked out well for him. Look at that. Wing right off. Nothing that we can do. Half a grid just stopped. Carnage. Love it. That's what I'm going to want to see when I'm watching that lap 1. And just before I go and hand it back to you, I've got one last clip ready. This was the final move for first place. It was very elbows out. GB might have to put his elbows out even more next time because the track just runs out of space and El Rey gets that lead win, and GB nearly lost second place. And there you go. That's my analysis. Thank you very much.
I mean, Scott, I don't think we've seen a sprint race quite like that. I mean, it has to be said. I mean, we had battles across the circuit. The final lap was just as chaotic. I mean, in a blink of an eye, El Rey Guri was right on the rear of GB68. And there was, bear in mind, a 9/10 gap at the start of that lap.
Yeah, no, it was quite crazy. To be fair, El Rey really pushed hard to get it. Elbows out, we do love to see that in the sprint race, but GB, I'm sure, will return that next time with his elbows out as well. And good on Persia and Alex Gillen also. But just for a minute, like, see that sort of half a lap, 3/4 of a lap with like Tom and Tiamat Marduk and stuff. How incredible was that?
It was truly stunning, and it blew me away. I mean, what an absolutely brilliant fight. Scott, thank you so much for that, good sir.
Thank you.
We will be, of course, going back to the action very soon. But Jess, I mean, wow. First of all, credit to El Rey Guri. A race winner in a sprint race, albeit, but a race win nonetheless. GB's got to be wondering what he needs to do. I mean, of course, he is a sprint race winner historically, but, you know, nevertheless, your first visit back. I mean, I suppose the P2 is good and all well and good, but, you know, to be leading in front throughout the entirety of the race, El Rey Guri seemingly forfeiting the pole position that he had right at the very start, GB getting the launch of his life off the line. Surely GB's going to be feeling a little bit miffed that he lost that.
Yeah, he thought he had this in the bag as well, but we do know that El Rey was pushing right to the very end, and he has some tricks up his sleeve as well. And there are some times as well where GB could have get his elbows out a little bit, but there was wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper on the final lap. You just couldn't get back better than that. I just don't think there was anything more than that GB could have done, because if GB defended even more, there would have been contact, both of them would have been in the wall, and Peya would have won the race. So I think it was just a scrap to the very end for these two amazing drivers that are fighting with each other before. They were teammates before as well in the Creator Series, and then they have to fight each other here as well. And if you don't get that many points in the sprint, 8 points for a sprint race win, 7 points per second, it's not much considering into it, but 1 point can make a difference to whether you make it next season as an F1 driver or whether you have to fight for the playoffs and secure your F1 seat and not get demoted to F2.
Yeah, well, that's absolutely right. And again, I'm just checking for the lobby, folks, at the end of the day, so do not be worried when I look backwards behind me. But yeah, honestly, truly astounding. Let's take a little reminder at what the standings look like coming into tonight's round. I mean, Team Marduk coming into this one seemingly leading the championship after a stellar run at Brazil. Wasn't a winning result, but nonetheless, as we suggested, it was the points he accrued. Yeah, it's consistency and accruing points in the Intermediate Tyre Championship. Not to mention the miracles he managed to pull off during the course of the race, fastest laps. He then got driver of the day as well. Certainly was a great weekend for Team Marduk. But Alex Gillen winning the Brazilian Grand Prix race last time out, which obviously allowed him to finish P2 in the driver standings so far. Obviously, we've got a long season ahead. Skies still in the mix. Tom looking pretty smart as well. Meraki starting near the back of the grid as well, Jess. Worked his way into the top 10. Not a bad result for the Williams.
Well, we do remember last season he purposely wanted to start from the back of the grid anyway, just for a bit of content. So he already has an idea of how to make his way up. So not really that surprised to see him climb his way up through the grid. He did phenomenally well in the sprint as well, which may suggest what he's going to be like in the main race later on as well. But short qualifying is a lot different to what we noticed with full qualifying. They only have 3 attempts to get their laps in, and I'm very excited to see how that's going to go later on as well, as the drivers are about to get ready for that as well. And of course, we have a full 100% race where they got to be on it for the full 53 laps, not just 9 laps. So if you think the sprint was crazy enough, watch out for the main race, because it's going to get even more epic.
It's going to be busy. Not to mention we got qualifying as well to worry about as well. There's plenty for the drivers to deal with. But incredible, it has to be said. I mean, a non-stop heart-pumping scenario. I must say it's exactly what we've signed up for in the F1 Creator Series. I mean, it is just pure content. That's what it's for. But it's without a doubt the sweatiest season, I think, in Creator Series history, when we figure some of the drivers that are now up in the top end of things. You've got the likes of MSkyZ, who narrowly missed out on the championship last time. Meraki looking to try and take his title back. Of course, we spoke to Tom Martinez time and time again, and whilst he's not here today, someone who is obviously incensed on winning, essentially every time he steps up here. And Team Marduk looking for that title as well. You know, I mean, he's gone close numerous times. We allude back to that title fight with Meraki, which he would eventually lose out on. That controversial race back at Spa-Francorchamps as well in the grand finale. And now we're back here at Suzuka, and this race could be the difference maker to any Drivers' Championship throughout the course of this season. So it's so compelling to watch. I mean, in your mind, who do you think has the minerals to achieve it?
Well, I think there's a lot of fast drivers, and we've got to keep an eye on the drivers that are used to climbing their way up through the field in many, not just Creator Series, but in other series that they take part as well. That is why we saw the likes of Meraki up there near the top 10 last week in Brazil. Team Marduk, Alex Gillen. Those are the people that are used to that. But if you're used to being at the front but not used to being at the back, this is going to be your downfall, I think. Because even though you may not score many points in the sprint, again, this can make all the difference as well. So short qualifying is where we see maybe the fast drivers go up near the front. But they're all sweaty. This is probably one of the closest grid we've ever had in the Creator Series. We saw in Brazil last week that pretty much that they were all sweating for the same piece of track, and they were going for moves which were crazy. So I think we're going to see that as we speak as well. And we're about to get underway with qualifying very shortly, and we can get some more action taking place here.
Well, I can tell you now that the drivers are getting ready for the start of qualifying. Short qualifying system here, folks, because, of course, we do have the sprint race heading into the feature race. In between to decide the grid, of course, we need a qualifying session. So instead of the full qualifying system we've adopted in the past, it is a straight-up short qualifying. So the drivers have to bring their best here in the initial, and already now they make their way out onto the track. And what a surprise, it's intermediate tyre time. But naturally, we enforced a rule change. All drivers must now utilize their intermediate tyres within the first, I think it's 5 to 6 minutes of qualifying. If they don't, then it won't count towards an intermediate tyre pole. So at the end of the day, that's what's on offer, and that will decide it. 6 minutes. There we go. I was right. So I'll take that. So Rasin Chai, there we can see him on screen. Now, he's got a recovery mission on hand here now, Jess, because, of course, he crashed out in the sprint race. Coming into this one, he needs to try and bounce back. A DNF is never an ideal way to start.
No, and that's the beauty of having a sprint race, and then we got the short quali and the 400% race still to go. Second chance for people to succeed, because there were people last season that may have not got the best of starts in the main race where there wasn't a sprint, and they didn't have a chance to get involved in battles. This is a chance for Rasin Chai to be the man we know and love and start to get these moves done. But don't forget, he's not on a pad anymore. He's on a wheel. So he's still getting used to it. To be fair, he's not doing too bad on his first few races on the wheel, to be fair. But I think it is plenty of chance for him to get some experience of him using new equipment as well. Plenty of chance for people to get used to the track before they get racing once again. And we know people got caught up in the lap 1 pile-up and didn't get into the top 10, so it is going to be interesting to see the least on how well they could do. A chance for the newbies, like obviously Rick, who are getting a lot of support in the chat, to get his foot in the door and see what he can do in a qualifying session. Some people are not going on into straight away. Rick is one of those drivers who's going on those soft tyres straight away. He's not messing around.
Yeah, I'm calling him Ricky Rick, I think, at this point.
Ricky Rick, love it.
Ricky Rick in 13th place, yet to nestle in a time, but though he will be the first to set a time. And of course, a little reminder as well, folks, of the Creator Series points system that is on offer. We have points all the way down to P15, 25 points for a winner, 20 points for second place, 18 points for third, 16 points for fourth, 14 points for fifth, 12 points for sixth, 10 points for seventh, 8 points for 8, so on, so on. You can see it at the bottom corner of your screen. If you want to join the conversation, you can. Hashtag F1 Creator Series. Please be sure to get involved online on social media. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok as well, across many different platforms. So get involved as we now await for the times to come through. Well, all the cars pretty much out on track. Curbs is actually retired. Infratic is currently in the pits, as is F1 Damien. Here comes Rikirikon, who now makes his way towards the line. A 126.9 to kick us off, and not even brandishing the intermediate tyres either, Jess. A 126.9 immediately on the soft tyres.
Yes, and with the Intermediate Tyre Championship, it also gives drivers a little bit of a chance to get a bit of a feel of the track before they do their soft runs, because they won't have that many softs for the race. So the less softs they use in qualifying, the more that they got on their disposal in the race as well. Dave is one of those other drivers who didn't opt for the intermediate tyres, and he's gone the soft, but that may not stop him from getting onto the intermediates in the next few minutes potentially, because they don't have long to do so as well. But here comes Matty D then, another driver to go onto the intermediate tyres. He's going again at 131.813. He slots himself into third place, and he is the fastest man on the intermediates. No team at Marduk saying that I want to be the fastest driver on the intermediates. The times are coming in thick and fast, and expect more than a few laps to be done on those intermediate tyres. Alex Gillen does the same on 130.9. It's not like full qualifying where the fastest 5 drivers get knocked out. Every driver who's on this grid has a chance for pole position, except Curbs, who's retired.
Yeah, well, Tim Marduk currently leading the intermediate tyre pole times. El Guri seemingly enjoying himself out here at Suzuka. He's just gone purple in the first sector, straight away onto the soft, so not wasting any time at all. Seems to be a little bit of a theme in the Red Bull family right now, with Rick currently occupying P1 right now at 126.9 at the very top, representing the team from Faenza, as now El Guri sprints ahead, heading around 130 hours. Just gone purple again in the second sector at 39.027. Currently the realm, as he now makes his way out of the Casio Triangle chicane, out of turns, what looks to be, coming in towards the final bends now, through the Casio Triangle, 16.18, and now a 126.6 sends him to the top of the order. Great start for El Rey, and no doubt be looking to persevere, maybe even do the double, sprint race winner, maybe even feature race winner to boot too.
Yeah, I don't think many people have got maximum points when we've done the sprint race format in the past. So if El Rey does it tonight, he could be the first to do so, and his championship hunt could get even more sweeter, and he could be up there near the front as well. And if he can get both a podium and a win, obviously a sprint race win as well, that could be huge in terms of keeping his spot in F1. But we know he's a quick driver. We know he could do a lot good as well. And I think, how long is qualifying? It's 17 minutes. There's not that long to go before people have to do their last intermediate runs. So I think we're seeing the last intermediate runs being done now as we speak.
Yeah, we certainly are. Tim Marduk is in the pits. He's not too worried. Meraki, though, has beaten him to the intermediate tyre pole and has just jumped ahead into fourth place, ahead of the Aussie now. So that certainly has put Tim Marduk in a bit of a predicament if he wants the intermediate tyre time. It is seeping away, and we're coming into that final minute. In fact, I think at the end of this minute,
it's done.
It's done. Meraki is the intermediate tyre pole holder. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, so you have to pretty much do your lap by 11 minutes in order for it to count, and Meraki's done that, and that's one extra point to his tally, which will put him higher up the order now as well. But now this is where the real qualifying takes place. They're all going to go on the soft tyres. They have 2 runs to do, so can anyone beat El Rey? Can we see people maybe into the 125s? All will be told, and the answers will be told in about 10 minutes' time. I can't wait, George.
I can't wait either, Jess. And I tell you what, folks, let us know who you think is going to take pole in this Creator Series qualifying session here at Suzuka. We want to hear from you. Use the live chats. That's what they're there for, folks. Plenty of action out on track. Tom now about to start his flying lap on soft tyres. And representing the Alpine team. I had a chance to spend some time with Tom at Enstone when we were working in the rigs lately, and we had a fantastic time there having a look at some of the old cars, even at the simulator as well, and even having a look around the area where the wind tunnel is operated. Obviously, we weren't allowed to be taken in there, but we were there in amongst it, looking at some of the scenery, getting an understanding of how the wind tunnel is operated and used. It was absolutely fascinating indeed, and it was, truly a marvel. And of course, Tom, who represents the Alpine team, looking to come back and deliver a clinic for the team, essentially. I mean, season 3 he was crowned champion in the F1 Creator Series, and certainly got a huge bout of pace. Did actually qualify for the Pro Draft in F1 Esports a good number of years ago. Of course, since has laid claim to being a content creator instead, and a very successful one at that as well, and is now looking to try and utilize some of that success here in the Creator Series itself, especially here in Season 6, with points still much aplenty, as he now makes his way through towards 130R. In comes the Alpine, coming down towards the final chicane. Hopefully he didn't get too interrupted with the car making its way out on its opening lap, as now the Alpine hurtles downwards. 39.395 in Sector 2 after a 31.4 in the opening sector. He'll come across the line and initialise his time. Third fastest for Tom. It's not a bad way to start, especially given that it's your first lap on soft compounder tyres, and sticks himself in behind Rick.
Tom was purple in the final sector, and you can see how he was committed there in towards the Casio Triangle. It was incredible, and you will want to avoid those curves, because otherwise it will unsettle you a lot. So that was a very solid lap from Tom the Bomb as well. And he also won the Constructors last season as well with his teammates. So they are so used to having the fold of Tom working together with his teammate last season of Tom 97, but now they switched teams. Tom is working with Safso this season, and we do know that Safso is a Creator Series champion. Season 1, the first ever series we ever did, was champion, and Safso worked well with GB68, so I'm sure Safso will work very well with Tom. But here's another driver who I expect to see climb his way up the ranks this season. Matty D goes up to the line, goes 5th fastest, and he wasn't fastest in any sector, but he was showing consistent pace. 127, not that bad, and only I think a few hundredths slower than Dave Gaming.
Yeah, not too far off at all. GB68 now also out on his run too. Chesnoid Gaming with an impressive time, goes 4th fastest with a 127.714, and that's only a second off the top time set by El Rey Guri earlier on. And Chesnoid, one of the ever improvers of this championship, season on season, getting better. Of course, more hailed in the football content with FIFA and Football Manager. Of course, I remember seeing him in the Football Manager Creators Cup, I think, that he's taken part in the past with Sports Interactive, but has now since moved as well into F1, making that part of his content offering, and certainly delivered. Tim Marduk going 3rd fastest as well with a 127.148. No doubt has taken Meraki's intermediate tyre pole personally, and he'll look to try and beat Meraki this time on track on soft tyres.
Yeah, they were fighting with each other many seasons ago as well, and I would expect them to fight with each other once again too. But most people have done their runs already. We've got Nogueira, we've got both Mercedes out on runs. Let's watch Nogueira first. He's been doing well towards the back end of the last season. What can he do here? He goes 3rd fastest with a 127.031. 2 tenths shy of Ricky in P2. We also got GB68. Just missed out on the sprint race win, but he slots it up into P2. A familiar sight at the top. The drivers who finished P1 and P2 in the sprint, they're first and second fastest in qualifying, but we still got people yet to set soft tyre runs. There's a few people that just couldn't hook it up yet. So we'll have to wait and see what they can do.
Yeah, Rasin Chai, the sister Aston Martin, now looking to join his teammate. Rasin Chai goes 6th fastest as the current Creator Series champion, and will now occupy a second Aston Martin in the top 6. GB68 proving that he is second best still here at Suzuka after finishing second in the sprint. Now he's currently P2 in qualifying. We've also got some more action down at Casio Triangle because Alex Gillen is coming into this as well. Now, winning back at Brazil. Can he once again stick his car on top? Makes his way across the line. 4th fastest for Alex Gillen, just in behind Ricky Rick and ahead of Nogueira as we now come down to the final 5 minutes of qualifying.
Yep, it is the calm before the storm, as I like to call it. People are going to get the hammer down and they want to climb up as high as they possibly can, to start as high as they possibly can in Japan. Because if it's one of those tracks where qualifying is important, this is one of those tracks you can't afford to qualify lower down. But we have seen and had proven that if you start lower down, you can climb your way up, as Peya goes up to the line in P7. The times are coming thick and fast here at Suzuka. A lovely track where we saw the likes of, obviously, Damon Hill winning in the WOW. I think it was 95 where it was run on aggregate. I think it was done on 2 separate days, I remember, as well. And I think he won by 3.6 seconds in the end. It was absolutely crazy. Obviously, we're not getting that this weekend as well. Skyzy purple in the middle sector out the ones around him. I want to see if that's against everybody else as well as he goes up to the line and heading towards the final corner. What's it going to be for Sky? Oh, he's going into the pits. Okay.
Yeah, he was purple in that second sector, a 38. In fact, we hadn't yet seen a 38 in Sector 2, so that is some time. So El Rey Guri now still lays claim to that fastest second sector. But I do wonder whether Skyzy did that on purpose, meaning that he'll get the optimal track temperature out on the final lap that he does pull off. Safso still out on track and has gone green, has set a personal best in the first sector of a 31.522. Of course, his first lap set on intermediate tyres, so it's no surprise to see him lit in green right now. And a reasonable run in Sector 2 with a 39.4. Now, the big question is, does he come in and change his tyres again for one last run? We'll wait and see. No, he's committing to this particular lap. Comes across the line, 11th place. Just sits in behind his Alpine teammate Tom, but that will set him back because he will now have to come into the pits and he will run out of time. The big issue, though, he's going to become a little bit of an imposition to all the cars now venturing out on outlaps.
Could he be the sacrificial lamb, though, to potentially help his teammate, maybe give the tow later on? But I think he's ran out of fuel, so he's not going to have time for another one. He's probably going to retire. He's going to be starting, like I said, at a position where you do not want to be. You do not want to be in the middle of the pack of Suzuka. That's where the carnage happened. So Safso is going to be in a spot of bother, but for everybody else, it is now time to let out the gauntlet and get your laps in. We've got El Guri on top, GB68 in second. We haven't seen what Alex Gillen is capable of. He ran out of fuel on one of his final runs. Team at Marduk as well. We could see him climb his way up the order yet. We haven't seen the cork in the bottle yet. I think we could see some surprises towards the end, like we've seen in real life and like we've seen in previous Creator Series seasons.
Yeah, well, folks, you know what time it is. The final runs mean only one thing. We want to hear from you. Who's taking pole here at the Japanese circuit of Suzuka? Round 2 in the F1 Creator Series. Get involved as well. Don't forget to check out the social medias above. No, it's not going to be GB. He retires from the session, so that means he is bound for second unless someone can beat him, which, with the likelihood of track evolution, we could yet see those times come crashing down. Chesnoid Gaming now making his way through the final sector. You will not be the first car, though, to cross the line because there is a Ferrari making its way around now indeed. Of course, it's not Tim at Marduk, it's his teammate who is yet to set a time. It's Fabio in Fratic now, looking to make his way out and start yet another flying lap. We have got comments in the live chat. Ben Daly with lots of support. Ricky Rick has got support as well from Terminator 300. Meraki has this, says Mr. Wipeout. Harrison in the mud saying Ben, and Johnny Fingers also saying Ben. And on YouTube, I can already see Miriam saying that El Rey has it. So there we go. Thank you for partaking, guys. Keep your comments coming. Infratic now on a lap.
Yep, Infratic is the only driver yet to set a lap time, so he hasn't got much of a delta. 31.3 in the third sector. He's 3 tenths lower than the current fastest third sector of El Guri. So a lot of time to be found for the Ferrari driver, but he can find it potentially in the middle sector. Skydy at 31.169. Still nobody to beat El Guri's time, but he's not that far behind, so he could jump into the top 3, I would say, in this qualifying session as well. Anyone else improving will have to wait and see. 31.054 for Ricky Rick in third place. He's not that far behind El Guri. Could he be the one that upsets El Guri on a debut? It's always great to have new drivers take up the top honours potentially, but could we see it this weekend? He's got to be consistent, but let's watch in fact as he goes up to the line. As we've got a few seconds to go, he could have time for another run if he wants to, but Fabio up to the line, only 13th fastest.
Yeah, only 13th fastest. It's not much of an improvement. And spinning it as well. Zafso is out of qualifying. We obviously knew that anyway. F1 Damien coming up towards the line. Goes 13th fastest. He can't quite find enough in the locker here. We're watching the times come cascading in. More of them coming in as we speak as well. Matty D13 also out on track. Tim at Marduk finding nearly 3 tenths as he now makes his way in towards the Casio Triangle chicane. Rasin Chai has taken the purple second sector. Noiguera, purple in the first. It's all going to change here at the end of quali. Tim Marduk, though, looking for an improvement as he goes third fastest. Rasin Chai takes P1 here in the closing stages, but all eyes on Noiguera as he comes on a spoon curve. A Mercedes, his Mercedes teammate, going off wide. Now, is that a tow supplied by his teammate Dave Gaming? Let's wait and see. In comes Noiguera around 130R, heading down now in towards the final chicane of the Casio Triangle. A 39.1 isn't terrible in that middle sector now as he powers out of the Casio Triangle down towards the line. Noiguera, third fastest, and that's all he's going to achieve, at least for now. But all eyes on El Rey, who's barely improving in P2.
No, but he's not improving the way that he would have liked. But Rasin Chai, he take a bow. He was like, nope, I'm going to redeem myself from retiring the sprint, and I'm going to absolutely smash it in the feature. Now that's exactly what he's done. El Guri has retiring in the pit lane. It is Rasin Chai, a familiar face, on pole position by just only about 4/100ths of a second to El Guri. No Guerra in third position as well. it is great to see familiar names up there near the top, but we've got No Guerrera in third. We've got GB68 in fifth spot as well. Great from him too, but there's ones I weren't expecting to be up there. Obviously, Meraki starting at the back. It's a given. He purposely starting at the back. Yoit only down in 10th spot. We've got the likes of Dave Gaming in 13th and Fratic only down in 16th spot. Alex Gideon could only manage 8, but the gap is so tiny between the top 10. It only took a small margin of error from you to either be on pole or to be in the top 10. It is that small.
I mean, look at the top 4. I mean, 83 thousandths between the top 4. That is how minute the gaps truly are. But it was Rastin Chai, who is now on pole position for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix here in the F1 Creator Series, and our current Creator Series champion as well, getting off to that perfect start here for the main race. El Rey Guri in second, Noiguera in third, M-Sky Z back in fourth as well. Tiamat Marduk in fifth. Just look at that. Some of the names that are in this top 10 is truly formidable. GB68 back again as well, 6th place. Ricky Rick, great qualifying performance in 7th place for the sensational Mexican, with Alex Gillen, last week's race winner at Brazil. He starts 8th. Peja 9th. Jori-Jan van Heffen in 10th. Tom 11th. Zafso 12th. Dave Gaming 13th. Hayden Gullis 14th. F1 Damien 15th with Infratic 16th. Chesnoid, Matty D13, Meraki after taking into his pole chose not to do a soft tyre lap, and Curbs didn't set a lap at all. He was out of the session. But drama across the board. We love it, Jess. And I'll tell you one thing, we're going to be in for a treat come race time.
Yeah, and we saw the amount of overtakes that we saw in the sprint race. I think we're going to see triple that in the main 100% race as well. We could see Razin Chai now. He hasn't had the kind of steel when he could just concentrate on what's going on in front now. We have people that started in the front of the sprint. They're starting near the back of the feature. They've got to negotiate more cars than intended to try and get past and climb up. Everyone is going to be in different scenarios now going into the main race. El Rey Guri obviously in second. He was starting near the front in the sprint as well, so he's in a familiar place. But the roles are kind of switched around for most people, and that's what makes it most exciting.
Well, speaking of switching roles around, he's been far too quiet. Scott, how are you doing, sir?
I am good. I've just been keeping an eye on the qualifying. I can tell you what happened to Curbs if you want. I can give you a quick show of what happened to him. He forgot he was in the qualifying session. He thought he was in the practice session, getting ready to go into the qualifying session. And this is just when he's just about to kind of realise it, and there it's hit. It hits him right there. As you can see, that is Curbs qualifying. I won't keep too long before the race starts. This is what happened to Ricky Rick as well. Loving that name, by the way. He just kind of comes into this corner, loses the grip there, realises he's lost the qualifying as well, takes his mind off the concentration, and he's gone. And last but not least, we have Razin coming in. He is absolutely ecstatic about being here with pole position on the wheel. This man came from the controller, and look at that, I can't even believe it as well. Love to see that no matter what input he's on, he's still fast.
Incredible. Yes. It has to be said. What a performance from Rastin Chai. Back again, our Creator Series champion. Thank you so much, Scott. Obviously, commiserations to Curbs. That was a shocker. And well done to Ricky Rick for taking it like a pro as well. But nonetheless, we have got a fantastic race ahead of us. Scott, thank you so much. We will catch up with you very, very shortly. And Jess, I'm going to catch up with you as well. Prior to us going live at Suzuka, obviously, that we've obviously got a formation lap to bring you guys at home as well. Obviously, make sure you land your comments in the chat as well. We want to hear from you. Who do you think is going to win here at Suzuka here this evening, given that we've just had qualifying? Jess, how do we analyse that though? Rastin Chai, the form since moving from pad. Remember, he was a winner on pad in this championship last season. Transitioning to the wheel for the very first time, it has not affected him one iota.
And the fact that he's on pace, on a wheel, so early on into the season, just imagine what he's going to be like for the rest of the season on a wheel once he gets used to it as well. For people like me, when we started on the wheel back in like 2017, 2018, it took me ages to get used to it. I'm almost certain for us lot in the commentary box, it took us ages. And for Razin, it took a few races. It just goes to show, it doesn't matter what tools you use, you can win with anything. He won on the pad, but fair play to him getting used to a wheel so quickly. If he managed to win on a wheel tonight, there's no barrier to anything, and it just shows that you can do it even with little practice, and he got a bit of chance to have a bit of a practice in the sprint. Didn't work out for him, and he's like, you know what, I'm going to do better in this main part of the race, and he's already done so, and he's got pole position. I can't wait to see what he can do.
Carrying just as much brilliance as Bob the Builder. Can he fix it? Yes, he can. So there we go. It's Rasin Chai back again at the top. But El Guri, we can't factor him out here. Second fastest, winner of the sprint race. This could still be that perfect weekend that he could be looking for.
I think this could be the perfect weekend, because we have seen the light. I think it was El Guri that started on pole in the sprint race earlier, and we saw the driver who started in P2 get an amazing launch into turn 1. Guess who's starting in P2? El Guri. He has the perfect opportunity to get the lead in towards turn 1. He could use the toe from Rasin Chai to do so, and if he could do that, well, the rest is history. He's already used to leading up the front. He could do it. But Rasin Chai must know what GB did. They're teammates at the end of the day. They're probably in a party on Discord together. GB will probably be giving him hints on how to hold up El Guri into the first corner. He could potentially see what GB did in the first corner, and Rasin could try and defend El from doing that as well. That's the benefit of being teammates at the end of the day as well. But we could see, based on the drivers, most drivers are going to be starting on the medium compounded tyres this evening. One driver starting on the hard, that is Yuri. He's going for something different. And GB wanting to get the soft tyres done early on and try and climb his way up the field from sixth on the grid. That's bold, but I like him being bold. We also got Chesnoy, Meraki and Curbs starting on the softs as well. We got a mixture strategy. All three of compounds are used. I'm going to make my prediction. I'm going to go for El Guri for the race win.
There we have it.
That's my prediction. What about you, George?
El Guri, the prediction for Jess Ball. I predict that we're going to see a great race. So there we go. I'm going to speak to my good friends in the chat. Guys, get your comments in. Let's have a chat and see what our friends are doing here. I can already see that Brandon Sedge, he's backing El in this one. Koi Fool saying Skyzy, let's go Tom, says Oranges. El to pile drive Rasin into turn 1. I hope we're not going to see anything like that. Let's not see that. Keep it coming, guys. Alex Gillen for the win, says Andrew Grundy. Meraki to win from P19, says Brandon Sedge. It could happen. I tell you what, it could yet happen. Captain Wilco saying Space goes for the win. He wins every time we go live in the Creators Series. Let's keep it coming. Tom wins today. Let's go Alpine, says Oranges. Gillen Masterclass, says James. Who else have we got here? Keep them coming, guys. Wow, this chat's picking up. Let's go Ricky Rick, the Mexican wizard, or the magnificent Mexican in this case, guys. Let's keep it coming. Truly phenomenal. Ben on the last lap, says Ashton. We're seeing Ben from Robin Gruntowski on YouTube as well. CB saying Ben as well. Keep it coming, guys. We've got a phenomenal group of you getting involved. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, if you're watching on Twitch, hit the follow button. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and, of course, leave a like. They're all lining up now for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix. It's Rasin Chai on pole. And it's El Guri alongside him. The second chapter in Season 6 of the F1 Creator Series is about to get underway. Suzuka awaits, as now we await the lights. Third light, fourth light, and the fifth light. And it's pedal to the metal. And it is go, 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 go. Rasin Chai getting off the line a little squirrely there. Opportunity for El Guri. The Spanish god immediately hits the front. Noiguera moves into second. Skyzy on the attack now. An awful start for Rasin Chai, who loses out majorly here. And now the top 5 all on medium tyres see El Guri leading. Noiguera in second. Skyzy in third. Rasin Chai fourth. A safety car. Infratic is out.
I did not see what caused Emphatic to retire there. Maybe he didn't get off the grid quickly enough or anything like that, but hopefully we'll hear from the clips earlier on as well. But just like we saw in the sprint, we got a lap 1 safety car. Shame from Rasin to not get such a good start, but as predicted, the right-hand side into turn 1 is the best opportunity to go for moves, and El did just that. Noguera follows suit too. He saw that Rasin did not get the start that he needed to, and boom, he just followed our way through. But really good job from the Red Bull man. Let's see if he could get the perfect weekend, or if anyone could potentially stop it. GB did not get the start he would have wanted either. Team Armada, I think, has gained quite a few places. Let's actually see who's gained the most out of this situation. I mean, the top 3 gained the most. Dave Gaming's up 2, Meraki gained 3. But biggest losers was Yorit and Razin Chai, who lost 2 places and 3 places respectively. A bit of a shame from them, but we get a bit of a chance to breathe because we want to find out what happened to Emphatic, but we want to find out what has happened to the drivers near the back as well that may have dropped positions.
Yeah, truly phenomenal venom on show here from El Rey Guri. Yet another, whereas the start wasn't necessarily his greatest in the sprint, didn't he half get the getaway here in the main race as well? Noiguera in second, Skyzy though having a great start from 4th to 3rd. I mean, that is a typical Skyzy sign that we generally see from time to time. I'm going to throw it over to Scott. Scott, what have you got for us? Oh, Scott, are you there?
Are you on mute?
Oh, sorry, I'm muted. Yeah, it wasn't too. It's awful from Fratic. Nothing too deliberate. Just not enough space on the track. As we see, he comes into this corner. Just gets a little touch of the Red Bull. Straight out of the wall. Tire gone. It just hurts me because I love Fabio, but sometimes these things happen. I don't know. I'll look at Hayden's point of view and see, but it looks like it was just one of these race collisions for me.
Yeah, a real tricky moment for Emphatic, and especially considering his pace levels so far this season, Scott, have been pretty good. It's never nice to bow out in lap 1, obviously.
No, it's not, especially under these circumstances. Just going side by side just to see car space there. He just seems to just kind of lose the apex slightly, gets caught in that wheel, and it's just, you know, sometimes this game might let you off with one of those and not take your wheel off. Sometimes it'll just destroy your car.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of the start, though, overall, anyone who's particularly impressed you?
No, I was too busy looking at the backpack, seeing who the sort of people that were losing it. Obviously, Razin lost a few spots as well. No, definitely wasn't keeping up too much of an eye on that. Was trying to just look out for carnage and chaos.
Well, there's certainly lots of it, Scott. Thank you so much. Keep looking for that chaos, my friend. We're going to be seeing a lot of it this race, I'm sure. Thank you so much, everybody, for certainly tuning in, and thank you to Scott as well for bringing this to our attention. Back in terms of what's happening out on circuit right now, the safety car is out on track here at Suzuka, and it is El Rey Guri out in front. I mean, Jess, what a phenomenal start for El Rey. Continuing where he started in the sprint, I mean, on that occasion, he left it all to the very last minute. This time, he's going at it right from the get-go.
He definitely is as well. He knows what he's up to. On the medium tyres, the threat for the soft runners behind him did not phase him one bit. It was just like, boom, send it up the inside and towards turn 1. And the rest was history for this man. He's used to being near the front for safety car restarts. He's done it in the sprint, so he could potentially do exactly the same here in the main race. He's had a bit of practice, so I expect him to get a good launch up on the start as well. But pretty much the ones who have gained the most out of this situation, Nairn in the front, but there was pretty much the likes of Ben, GB68 and Ricky and Alex, they haven't gained much at all. So chances for them to get their races off to a good start when the safety car comes in. I don't think many people pitted after that one carnage, apart from Curbs. Everyone else has stayed out. It is too early for them to pit, of course. There's no point. Most people potentially going to do 2 stops anyway in this race.
It looks like El Rey is actually trying to battle with Bert Mylander here at this point. He is so keen to get back going. Look at the gap between him and Noiguera right now. He is literally all over the rear of the Aston Martin. Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, he feels like he wants to get past Bert Mylander here at this point. El Rey, the race is behind you, my friend. Incredible. Noiguera currently sat in second as well. Sky Z looking to lofty his hopes a little more as well. Remember, he came off the back of last season, championship leader to the final rounds of the campaign, where, of course, Razin Chai would take the ball and run with it coming into the final moments of that season. He's going to be feeling a little bit, I think, down on his luck after last season, Jess, but coming back and has a renewed chance and probably has learnt a lot more about the Creator Series since then, and definitely a title contender without any doubt, and in a very, very good area, or should we say in prime contention for a potential win here.
Yeah, I think the thing that rewards this championship this season is consistency. If you're able to perform well in the sprint and the feature, both in one weekend, that is your chance of a title going up to 11, especially in this race. And people may think, oh, me missing a race potentially in round 1, El Rey Guri missing a race in round 1 may have ruined things a bit. But he's proven that he can still get back in the championship fight. And the safety car's going to come in. He's got a chance to really rocket through the field and make sure he can increase that gap. So now he is the virtual but Mylander for El Rego. And for the second time, we're about to go racing under green flag conditions.
Yeah, it's a car park at the Casio Triangle chicane. El Rego, though, controlling the pace, has refused to move a muscle. He has got Noiguera, though, right behind him. He might have left this too long, though, as they make their way around the final corner. They'll put pedal to the metal for the second time in this Grand Prix now. It's El Rego who leads the way, but look at the battling further back as Tiamat Marduk goes on the attack of Rasin Chai, takes him down immediately. Heading through turn 1 here on lap 4. Alex Gillen as well, side by side with Ricky Rick. Blast past the AlphaTauri, who comes together now with Paya further back as well, and losing place hand over fist as they make their way through the first sector. Tom now up to 9th place, Ricky Rick down to 11th.
Yeah, Ricky is struggling, unfortunately, to try and defend from the likes of Alex, Paya and Tom. I think he was just struggling to get his tyres up to temperature as well, because they may not have warmed it well enough in the safety car, because they were only on those tyres for 1.5 laps, and we got Tiamat Marduk trying to get past another car in towards the hairpin, and is now going towards 230 up. Both of them going side by side in towards the middle part of the lap, and Tiamat Marduk is already up into 3rd place. He's had the restart of dreams here. He has done well in this track in the past. Tiamat Marduk is no mean feat. He's missed out on the title many seasons before. He realises that this could be the season where he has a Crazy Series title to his crown, and he's already been chased by a lot of drivers. GB68 does get past his teammate Rasin Chai. He is making no soft work. He's up to 5th, but Tiamat Marduk, biggest gainer, and he's going to try and get past Noiguera's going to get past Tiamat Marduk once again. He almost got past Skyzy there, but Skyzy's just pulling away a little bit. Look at that gap between Elray and Skyzy.
Yeah, and usually it's Skyzy pulling out these gaps as well. This time it's roles reversed. El Rego leading the way. Look at this from GB68 on the attack of Noiguera. And now the Aston Martin moves its way up. They got 2 of them in the top 6. After watching Bernd Mylander leading the way through the initial stint on this race. Of course, he donning an Aston Martin, meaning green as well. It's GB68 in the top 4, and he's hunting down after Tiamat Marduk. But look at that at the front. A whole second separates El Rego and Skyzy right now. But look as well, Alex Gillen also on the attack, trying to close down on Rasin Chai, the current champion, as they hurtle out of the Degners. The man who won the race last week, now taking down, or trying to at least, another champion as they cut now wheel to wheel. We've got Rasin Chai and Noiguera this time running side by side. Yellow flags again in sector 2. It's Safso. Safso's lost it.
Safso, I think, made contact with the drivers around him, I think in 12th place potentially, and he's dropped down to 90. He had a bit of a spin, but luckily he was able to come back from that and not get any damage. Rasin Chai, I think, had pressure from Noiguera again. Noiguera's dropped off massively of this restart. He's down to 6th place, so he's struggling on those medium tyres too, so I wonder what happened with him. And he's under pressure from Alex Gillen in towards the Casio Triangle. Alex Gillen decided that he was backing out of that one, but he's got plenty of ERS, a few percent more than Noiguera, but we've got a battle for the lead as Skyzy goes for it, George.
Yeah, managed to close that gap rather quickly. DRS now enabled here on lap 6, and Skyzy reaching for the skies and takes the lead here on this lap 6 of 53. Elray now reduced to 2nd place. Where did Elray find the time? Well, certainly, where did Skyzy find the time to drop Elray down into 2nd? Remember, he was a whole second back earlier on.
Yeah, that was absolutely crazy. Skyzy was absolutely putting pretty much hammer time for him as well. Well, it was a full second as well, but I think Skyzy was just saving his tyres on the first lap, whereas El Rego was pushing, and that was what was rewarding at the moment, and he can manage that gap up front as well. Skyzy was another driver that missed out on titles many a times, and this could be the season where he could put a title gauntlet to his name and put a crown to his name, and he's already increasing the gap already, so brilliant job from Skyzy. This is definitely the man that we wanted to see, him being up at the front. He was struggling up there in many races before, but he's doing it well here at the moment, so maybe this could be the start of things to come for that man. But we haven't seen what Alex Gillen could do so far in his race as he climbs up. Can he make his way up to near the top of the field potentially? Because he's the one chasing down Tiamat Marduk in this championship. Bit of rivals before, good rivals, and he's chasing down Noiguera. Can he do it? We'll have to wait and see as we head towards the start of the 7th lap as Alex Gillen trying to Go down, pass up the inside, no ground. No, he's not going to do it. No, he thought about it, but no, he's not going for it just yet. He's playing it safe for now.
All right, Gary's done a great job, certainly of holding on to second place, and he's managed to close the gap to SkyZ. Meraki moving ahead of Dave Gaming to jump into the top 10. Now remember, he did not qualify on a set of soft tyres and has now managed to move his way all the way from P19 up to P10.
Wow.
A very typical Meraki last to first attempt by the looks of it. Something he promised he wouldn't do ever again this season, due to the fact that he was looking to try and reclaim another Creator Series title. But it looks like it may be his time to shine, and if you're showing this type of pace in this initial part of the race, of course he does have soft tyres on, so it is relatively expected, but at the same time to pull it off it's a whole other matter altogether. Elray Giri still trying to close the gap on SkyZ. TMM Marduk has done a great job of trying to nurse P3 close to the P2 and is now looking to perhaps attack Elray Giri for a potential P2 in this classification. Further battles further down, the gap's minimal between everybody here. No DRS, of course, between Hayden Gullis and Matty D, but everyone above, all within DRS contention of one another. SkyZ, though, still leading the race. Rasin Chai on the attack of his teammate GB.
And we do know around here, DRS trains can be a bit of a handful around Suzuka. When you get stuck in one, it's going to be really hard to overtake. But people did prove that in the sprint race, even though we had a few laps to contend with because we had a safety car. So they just got to find the pace very early on and save their tyre wear now before they go into the pit. I think we start to see potential moves when they go in for their first pit stops. We could see many teammates working together, like we're seeing GB68 and Razin Chai. I think what GB is doing is to try and reel Razin in to try and stay within the gap, because he was struggling a little bit, but now Razin is caught up a little bit. We know how GB has worked well with teammates, so is Razin Chai. Could this be another season where Razin Chai picks up another Constructors title? He's picked up loads of Constructors titles during his time in Creator Series, and he could get another one here this season. He's doing very well to come back from this after the horrific start he had at the start of the race by dropping out a few positions. He's already back up into 5th spot.
Yeah, obviously we're currently witnessing Tom now out on track, sat in P9 and looking to chase after Peya for P8 in the race. And of course we alluded to his Season 3 championship. And of course Rasin, a former Alpine teammate, who then went on to take the most recent championship as well. So two good friends, and I had the pleasure of spending time with them both at Enstone over the last week or so. Of course, we had a couple of days where we spent in the rigs as well as taking factory tours as well. Truly remarkable, to say the least, as now Matty D13 has managed to displace Jorrit Jan van Heffen, who's on hard tyres, but Jorrit might yet get a chance here to close the gap. Meanwhile, there is a little bit of a close battle right at the front. MSkyZ, whilst he leads the way, Elray Giri trying to retaliate here. Of course, these two have had several incidents in the past, and I tell you what, lots of controversy. I'm specifically talking about, of course, Bahrain last season, and then, of course, the final race of the season at Jeddah.
Yeah, so much controversy in the final round, and I think it could have been what could have been for these drivers as well, but to be honest, they don't have long to go until even the end of the season, and they can't afford many controversies at all for them to get their championship down to the wire. So they've got to be consistent all the way. That's what I keep bringing up. Consistency. Consistency is what wins you these shorter championships. You can't afford to take your foot off the pedal this early on, because if you do, you'll lose out on the chance of this championship, or maybe you'll lose your chance of getting an F1 especially if you're lower down in this grid so far. But we are on lap 9. No major moves as of yet, but one that's looking very menacing is Meraki as he chased down Tom for 9th place. It's looking very, very good for him so far as he's chasing down yet another position on those softs. He's got to get past ASAP though. He's not going to go for it yet. He's going to be patient, but behind him, Ricky has got past Dave. He's up to 11th.
Yeah, Rick now moving up into 11th place ahead of Dave Gaming, and will now look to hunt down after Meraki, who he himself perhaps looking for a potential move on Tom, who tries to break out of the aero as they head in towards turn 1 yet again. No moves made in the immediate between Meraki and Tom right now. The gap's though fairly minimal still. Elray Giri again threatening on the back of MSkyZ. Is this do you get a sense here that MSkyZ is really managing his tyres right now, Jess?
It looks like it, doesn't it? Because he's still pushing, but he's still managing to hold the fort and keep RA Guru behind, because everyone knows that when you're stuck in a DRS train, it's just so hard to get out of it. And we can compare lap times between Skyzy and El Rey Guri as well. Last lap that Skyzy did was around about 1:32.1, and what El Rey Guri did in second place was a 1:32.2. So it's around about a 10th difference the last lap between the top two. It is nothing. You can see El Rey Guri closing up, and I think what Skyzy is doing, he's pushing one lap, he's backing off the next lap, and maybe El Rey Guri is probably potentially going to do exactly the same thing. And to put it into perspective, they're all medium tires and they're still putting off laps like that is incredible. Team Marduk is chasing them down quite slowly. He's managing his tyres at the moment, but he is setting a personal best in the first sector. He's faster in the first sector than the top two currently on this lap. So I wonder if the top two are feeling the pressure with Ben Daly breathing down their necks down as well. But we're also seeing the midfield closing up. If only the top two make a mistake, everyone else behind will see it as an opportunity to pounce. In particular, the drivers in that midfield, because any one of those drivers in the midfield could potentially climb up there. We saw this in Brazil, and they're all separated. The top 12, they're all in the same DRS train. It's remarkable. I don't know who's going to win this one.
It's going to be very tight. I mean, credit to Tom. He did manage to make the move on that last lap at the hairpin as well, heading up into P8. So Peya now down to P9, and Meraki now looking to try and do exactly the same, but he has got a little bit of work to do because Peya defends very well indeed. El Rey Guri 5/10 away from Skyzy up at the front end as they make their way through the hairpin now, coming out of turn 10 in towards turn 11. They'll take 230R this time. Skyzy, the Frenchman, now looking to try and batter off the approaches from El Rey Guri, who has persisted non-stop now, but still remains in second. Tim Marduk doing a sterling job of just managing his race. I mean, as far as Tim Marduk's concerned, as long as he remains ahead of GB68, of course, who's on the soft tyres, ensures that GB68 and his tyres deplete fairly quickly. Therefore, all he has to worry about is what's going on out in front. El Rey Guri also trying to close down on Skyzy once again. Breaks out of the aero, has another look on Skyzy heading in through to Casio Triangle Chicane. Might get a decent run heading in towards turn 1. Of course, Skyzy's going to look to try and dump the battery in order to try and maintain the pace, but that Red Bull is looking so good right now. Hayden Gullis moving up into 15th as well. Another look here from El Rey Guri, who seemingly looks like he's getting closer lap after lap right now.
Yep, he is. I think El Rey Guri is starting to get a little bit faster now than Skyzy. It's around about a similar pace. El Rey Guri, I think, was just a few 100ths quicker than Skyzy that lap. So I think the pressure's on between these two as well. And I'm very impressed to see GB68 keeping up with the pace. He's not dropping off what we would the way that we would expect. He's still in the 132s currently, the same as what we're seeing the likes of El Rey and Skyzy. So he's doing a remarkable job up there. So if Skyzy or El Rey gets in trouble, then it could allow GB68 to climb up at the moment. And these are a quick reminder of your points as well. Top 15 get points, and at the moment, Curbs has made his way up into P15. So he's the one who's going to get the last point paying position right now. But the higher you want to be, the higher you want to get as much points as you can. In particular, the ones who are in this midfield battle, literally, they're all running in the same piece of track within a few tenths of each other. It's absolutely crazy. No Guerra is looking like the one who's going to pounce for a move, as he's going to try and get past Razin, trying to the Casio Triangle. And look at the teamwork that the Aston Martins are doing.
Oh, no.
GB68, oh, what's happened? Oh my goodness.
It got very close. GB68 looked like he lost the rear slightly, and it has cost him time. He's a whole second now behind Tim Marduk, and the Aussie's going to love every bit of it. Here comes Noiguera now, side by side with Racing Chai, as he looks to try and cause an almighty shift in this battle to get into the top 5 places. Alex Gillard taking full advantage, and Gillard strikes into P6. The Haas has to climb at this point now, and is looking to try and chase after Racing Chai and GB68, but look at them tailing off from the top 3. The gap between GB and Tim Marduk now 1.5 seconds.
Absolutely incredible. Alex Gillen took advantage of Noguera making a bit of mistakes, and it's like, you're welcome, I could gain another position. He's up into 6th already, and GB68, you can tell he's losing out on those soft tyres. They've started to give up the ghost. Unfortunately, we thought he had consistent pace on those softs, but he's dropped, I think, 7 tenths from his previous lap. Last lap, the lap before you did 132.3. The lap he just did, 132.9. So that squiggle lost him a chunk of time, which is allowing the likes of Alex Gillen to close in. So what Alex Gillen is going to do is wait for the opportunity to try and go for the move now into 130.
No way! No way! No way!
Into one! That is crazy, but I don't think he's going to make it stick, unfortunately. Through the Casio
He will.
triangle, can get past. I'll let you. Oh, Alex Gillen had a bit of a slide, but he got the car right in control there, and GB68 is like, nope, I'm going to try and get past Alex Gillen. Oh, this is pretty wide. They're banging wheels in towards turn 1, George.
No way, I tell you what, I said it before, but he went and took on the pair of Aston Martins. They tried to tag team him out of the battle for 4th place, but Gillen has them round turn 1. That is truly one of the most sensational segments I think we have seen in the Creator Series. 2 Aston Martins for the price of 4th place, and he now holds on to it, displacing Rasin Chai and GB down into 6th. Remarkable racing.
And we thought that the 2 Aston Martins working together would work a treat, but no, Alex Gillen outsmarted both of them, and it wouldn't have been amazing if he got 2 cars into one in 130R, but he got the move done eventually, and he saw both the drivers making a mistake, and he's like, thank you, and guess who he's got to try and catch now? His an arch nemesis, Team Marduk. When's the last time we saw that? Oh wait, last time out in Brazil. They're fighting for the championship. This is writing in the stars for these 2 drivers. Amazing stuff. Meraki in the background has got past Nogueira up into the 9th spot. He is struggling on those tyres, but that's not letting him phase him. He's getting in those positions anyway, but it's just great to see Alex finding his feet. I remember last season he was struggling around this track, and I think he just found the setup which works better for him this time around, and it's helping him.
Well, inadvertently, I think Alex Gillen might have helped him at Marduk out a little bit now. 3 seconds cushion between the Aussie and Gillen in 4th spot, and Rasin Chai looking to try and take back the place that he lost. He will certainly take it back, and around turn 1 he goes. He jumps ahead of Alex Gillen for that 4th place. Gillen now down into 5th. GB68 licking his wounds in 6th place, but are those tyres finished? Are the softs finito? Does he have to think of a pit stop now over the next few laps?
I think he has got to think of a pit stop in the next few laps, because we always know that the softs don't last too long around here in these 100% conditions. I will need to double check my notes as to how long they last until a puncher is around about 21 laps that they can get to a puncher, but ultimately 15 laps. So if I was GB68, I would come into the pits right now at the end of this lap. Peya as well. No, not Peya, he's not on the soft. Meraki come into the pits as well. Peya's potentially as well. If you stay out for any moment longer, this is where you're going to lose out on the time. Meraki's already falling out of DRS of Peya. So you can start to see, yeah, this could be the perfect time. But we are starting to see Tom taking full advantage of GB68's form tyres. They're going to try and get past the Aston Martin driver.
Great chance here, heading around 130R. The second half of it, I'm sure, will work for him. Heading down in towards Casio Triangle. Does he choose to open the door? Not quite yet. I'm sure he'll now wait patiently for the DRS to open up for the Alpine this time. And no doubt, and in he comes. It was expected. GB68 boxing off those soft tyres, and no doubt we'll see some responses as well as they now make their way around on lap 16. Rasin Chai, though, able to keep Alex Gillen in behind. Ricky Rick has managed to jump Meraki, hold on to 8th place. Meraki, after overtaking Nogueira only a lap or so ago, unable to trump the AlphaTauri for that 8th spot. Ricky Rick doing a great job of defending his place.
In 8th spot as well, he's going to get some really good points. What is it with reserves that fill in the AlphaTauri slot? They always tend to do very, very well, and that's what Ricky Rick is doing at the moment. He did have some issues earlier on at the start of the race, but he's forgetting about that, and it's all about that mindset. If you have that incident, or if you had someone overtaking you, you just got to think about what's going on ahead of you for the rest of the race. Don't let what happened in the past phase you a little bit. Focus on what's going on right here and right now, because that could really help you a little bit, and I think that's what Ricky Rick is doing currently as well. But Team Mardik is about 1.2 seconds behind El Rey Guri, so could this be the chance for him to close in as well? He's almost within DRS of these two as well, but you can see SkyZ and El Rey, the more that they are in DRS with each other, Team Mardik is losing out on the time, so Team Mardik has got to push at this point.
Yeah, it's not working for him right now. He's lost DRS and the energy is flashing on the back, the light flashing on the back of the car, which displays and certainly indicates that the energy has been all but drained on the car. Alex Gillen now moves up to 4th ahead of Rasin Chai. Meraki also moving up now into 8th place, has managed to finally batter past Ricky Rick for that 8th spot now. He's still pursuing the soft tyres. They haven't yet fallen apart for him just yet, but obviously the pace, I'd imagine, has taken a steady decline over this short period of time that we have had, and no doubt following suit potentially from GB68 after making his stop earlier on, and one of the first stops that we have seen so far in the course of this race. We have had a few others, of course, Curbs pitting twice. We've also had Chesnoy Gaming box as well, but I would say in terms of actual strategy, I would say that this call, probably the same as Chesnoy in fact. I mean, Chesnoy boxed around lap 11, Meraki boxing soon, I'm sure, will be on the cards, but with GB boxing off in 15 laps on those soft tyres, now beginning his first lap, or certainly on his first lap on his new set of medium tyres, will no doubt look to persevere, and I'm sure we'll see Meraki jumping into the box as well very soon. In fact, this might be the best chance for him to do so, though he has done well to regain a little bit of time on Peya and does have DRS heading down this long straight. He'll be able to utilise it down the home straight should he remain within DRS contention within the delta of 1 second, as they now head into the Casio Triangle. Still MSkyZ out in front, El Rey Guri in second place. Tiamat Mardik now 2 seconds behind. He's still losing time, and that's not going to work in his favour whatsoever. El Rey Guri doesn't really have to worry a lot at this point now. He can sit tight, as now we see Rasin Chai with another look down the inside on Alex Gillen, taking the tow with the DRS and the slipstream, opting though to remain behind, heading through turn 1.
I know what El Rey Guri is doing. He is not going for the move until the last opportunity once again before they pit, because if he does it now, then MSkyZ will potentially do exactly the same thing. El Rey Guri wants to put as much pressure on SkyZ as he possibly can. So I think he's just going to go for it just before he comes in and then potentially maybe get him in the pit. SkyZ, if you want to be ahead of El Rey, maybe doing the undercut would probably benefit him more than what the other drivers can face as well. So I think if SkyZ wants to be ahead, he wants to get the undercut. If El Rey Guri wants to get ahead, do it at the last possible moment. That's what I would do. What would you do if you were in that situation? Make sure you get involved, join the conversation using the hashtag. You can also get involved on Twitch too. But these two, they're on another level compared to everyone else. Look at the gap between the top two and Team Mardik. It's increased to 2.8 now. Team Mardik is struggling. With them two DRSing each other, it's allowing them just to be on another level. That's going to promote SkyZ way up in this championship if he can keep this up. None of the top two are budging to go into the pits. Yeah, I don't think Meraki's going to either. So it's going to be pretty much a sprint at this point into our first potential pit stops from the front lot.
Yeah, well, Meraki, I'm sure, will be thinking about pitting very soon. Still remains out on track, though, going for a very lengthy stint on the soft tyres in comparison to everyone else who started on softs. Amazingly, I mean, Meraki has far surpassed everyone else who started on the soft tyres in terms of the strategy, which I'm sure will work out in his favour as long as he can maintain the pace levels. While, of course, he does have DRS on Peya, that's going to be immensely useful for him. Tom, as well, looking to make moves, right in behind former teammate Rasin Chai as they head through the Degners. And now, nose to tail between the pair as they look to venture out of Degner 2. And now up the hill towards the hairpin now. Will Tom think about making a move on his former teammate? Not quite yet, but still remains in very close proximity. Alex Gillen, despite being in 4th and being well out of DRS, has managed to close the gap on Tiamat Mardik to 1.8. That gap was far beyond 3 seconds, only a small matter of a few laps ago. And Tiamat Mardik losing time hand over fist against El Rey Guri in second place, who seemingly, I think, has just focused his attentions on MSkyZ because he's getting closer and closer to the back of the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, he's around about 17% all the way through in terms of ERS, and I don't think SkyZ has to worry too much because he's got more ERS than El Rey Guri. So El Rey Guri is using the ERS up just to be winning the DRS trade. If he didn't use that ERS up, SkyZ would have pulled away quite rapidly as well. So SkyZ could use that at certain points in this stint to pretty much make the defense, and that's what he's trying to do at the moment as El Rey Guri almost got the job done on SkyZ. SkyZ shuts the door. Razin Chai, though, gets past Alex Gillen up to 4th.
Yeah, Alex Gillen now behind Razin Chai. So it's now the Aston Martin up into 4th place. El Rey Guri all over the rear of SkyZ this time around. So maybe we could witness a change for the lead here this time around. The Red Bull swinging all over the back of the Alfa Romeo as it now sends itself through the Degner corners and up the hill towards the hairpin bend. A yellow flag in the first sector, and it looks like it's a Red Bull. I think that's Hayden Gullis, who I think's had a moment further down, but as they now make their way around on lap 20 of 53, surely the pit stops have to be discussed, surely thought about, as they head up the hill now out of 230R and in towards Spoon Curve now. It's El Rey Guri seemingly piling on the agony, putting the pressure on the Alfa Romeo in front of it. SkyZ, who came close to winning a title last season, lost down the remaining rounds, the final remaining rounds in that series, which led to Razin Chai taking the championship. El Rey closing up though, again, well within 3/10, and he's having another look here, Jess.
You could tell that they're going to pit now, because once I said that El Rey Guri could potentially push before the pit stop, he's pushing right now. So I would expect one of these two, or even both of these two, to box this lap. Look at this. He's going to dive it up the right-hand side towards turn number 1. Easy does it, goes the Red Bull driver. El Rey Guri up into 1st place. It takes the lead of this Grand Prix. Alex Gillen does the same on Razin Chai. He's up into 4th spot. And he's chasing down Team at Marduk once again. There's a big train from P4 all the way down into P8, and Meraki still keeping up with this train. Very impressive. We've got Dave and Hayden in the pit lane. They're doing their first stop. Dave going on to the soft compound, the tyres. So does Hayden. So potentially they could either be doing 2 soft stints or 1 soft stint and 1 medium stint. But I have a feeling either El Rey or SkyZ or both will come into the pits this lap, because otherwise they wouldn't be pushing as much. But SkyZ almost got the job done in towards 200R.
Yeah, very nearly got it coming out of the hairpin, and now an opportunity through 230R. Could yet come for SkyZ, not this time. El Rey Guri, though, despite taking the lead in the first sector, now coming under a distinct level of pressure here against SkyZ, who now sits in 2nd place. They now hurtle down. 130R is next as they look to now put their foot to the floor and open up any door possible. SkyZ sitting on that rear wing as they now pirouette, heading through the final sector. Will he make the move into Casio Triangle? He can't. Still El Rey Guri holds on to the top. These two, who have had so much history in the Creator Series, are now letting it all loose here at Suzuka.
They stay out, so they're not going in. They're pushing for another lap, and SkyZ has saved up enough battery to get past El Rey Guri once again, doing exactly the same move as we saw El Rey Guri the previous lap. So they're pretty much DRSing each other for the next few laps to make sure they stay ahead, which is really great stuff from the pair of them. They're not teammates, but what they're doing is making sure none of the drivers which are behind them can catch any sense of them right now. The top 2 are just on another level, George.
Yeah, but also we've got to factor in this. The fact that SkyZ and El Rey Guri have gone as long as they have done, you've got to wonder what the strategy is. Meraki could very easily negate the strategy that has been put out by SkyZ and El Rey Guri. If he jumps onto a set of mediums, which we know can obviously extend that little bit extra than the softs can, Meraki could essentially pull off a one-stop strategy just by doing softs to mediums. I mean, this could work so much in the favour of the Williams driver. Prepare yourselves, folks. We could witness true strategic brilliance from the Williams driver, currently sat in 7th. The tyres are still working for him. He overtook Peya earlier on. Noiguera now makes a move through Spoon on Ricky Rick, who is now down to 10th place. Dramatic scenes across this grid, and as pit stops occur, I think we're going to be in for some fireworks.
We got Alex Gillen that's made his way past Team at Marduk into 3rd place. The Team at Marduk dropping on the pace. Alex Gillen increasing the pace, and that's allowing him to get past onto the podium positions. I'm intrigued to find out why Team Marduk was dropping the pace. Mainly because the top 2 were having DRS, and they're fighting again.
Yeah, Meraki coming in as well. Team Marduk looking to try and bite back. Alex Gillen has done so well to close the gap between he and his rival. The 2 of them coming together. The Haas powered by a Ferrari engine, going up against the Scuderia Ferrari itself. Currently sat in 3rd place. Tim Edmardick defending brilliantly, with Alex Gillen still hunting him down, heading through the S's, through this first sector at Suzuka. They rise up through Dunlop Curve at turn 7. The Degners come next. Danger now on the face of Tim Edmardick as now Alex Gillen begins to pepper.
Alex Gillen is winning the opportunity to also maybe potentially get another win. That could be absolutely insane. Yellow flag is that's probably safety car.
Safety car is being called.
That's Nogueira. Nogueira's lost his front wing.
Goodness me, Nogueira losing a front wing. Debris on the circuit. Skyzy and El Reguri. The 5.6 seconds that they managed to bring to the table has now been wiped away due to a safety car. And now Tim Edmardick will be able to close the gap to them. Surely they're all going to box this lap. This is great news for Meraki, who of course can now witness himself, drawing himself closer to everyone else. Though is it good for Meraki? I'm not quite sure, because if everyone gets a free pit stop, does that mean Meraki's in trouble?
And don't forget, you're losing out less time if you're pitting on the safety car compared to normal rated conditions. So in a way, that was bad timing for the Williams driver. If he stayed out just one more lap.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate. I tell you what, we're going to go to the man with a plan. It's over to you, Scott.
Yes, I'm here. I've just got what happens here. Sadly, it's a little bit of a skill issue with all being here. Is we will be, just give us a couple of seconds. We'll be coming round at this particular corner, loses the grip, goes straight into the wall, takes the wing off. And also, just as he was rejoining, I'm not too sure what happened, to be honest, but Jorrit nearly DNF'd himself, as you can see in a second on the left-hand side. Ooh, just kind of comes right through there. I'm not too sure what in particular happened there, but to be fair, I'll get back to that just so that you guys can know exactly what's happened at other points in the show. Let me just quickly tell you what happened. So F1 Damien had a little bit of a moment. This could have been spicy, but credit to him for being able to get out of the way here. I don't like this, not for him obviously, but gets out of the way. Doesn't even take out that little board either. Does very well for himself. Obviously not good, but like you just love to see that. Safso earlier had a little bit of an issue. This is what happened. Hayden the Assassin Gullis is back in full form for us tonight. Very unfortunate. Obviously didn't mean to do it, but goes into, loses the grip, goes into the back of Safso.
Oh.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate to see. He owns up to it immediately. I'll take you for one more minute if that's okay, because I got a bunch of clips for you. This is probably one of the greatest moves I have seen. Just in case you wanted another little recap of what happens. Look at this, he's basically on the grass. Well done to the two drivers on the left, because they leave the space. Alex Gillen, like, take your hat off. Like, Gillen's winning. Gillen is winning, right? He fought and fought and fought, and I love seeing driving like this when drivers just give each other just enough room to create this amazing experience, and Alex was obviously able to catch onto that. And last but not least, before I let you get back to the race, this was Hayden in a little bit of contact with GB lap 20, which caused Hayden to spin out. Goes for the inside line. Just enough space until there's not enough space. The slightest of tyre touch puts Hayden out. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are all caught up with all the incidents. Thank you very much.
Goodness me. I mean, just looking back at Mr. Gillen's move of the season, Scott.
Oh, 100%, like 100%. But I'm also really happy to Razin and GB for letting it happen as well. As we look, like, you know, you've maybe been there 10 times. This could have went multiple ways, but because everyone was respectful, this is definitely the move of the season.
Yeah,
TikTok moment.
Definitely. I'm sure we'll look back on that and time again. Thank you so much, Scott, for that. And we'll head back to the action. Safety car still remains out on circuit, and it's not all bad for Meraki. That's what I will say here, Jess, because whilst, of course, the safety car did come out just after he boxed, which is definitely hazardous for him. He has got a raft of cars that have now had to adopt a hard tyre strategy, because getting softs to the end at this point isn't necessarily going to be ideal for all the drivers. Not all of them can save tyres like Meraki can, and Meraki is the highest on medium tyres. So Meraki's still in a great position here.
I think I take my word back that I thought that Meraki was in the worst position. He is definitely in the best position, because he was able to get those soft tyres for a long period of time, 22, 23 laps. He still had means at his disposal. That means he's used one of the different tyre compounds, whereas everyone else around him, they had to go to a different tyre compound. The softs wouldn't work, so they had to go onto the hards. So my money at this point is Meraki trying to climb as many positions as he can. So scrap what I said earlier on. I think Meraki is in a very good spot to potentially score some really decent points in this Grand Prix as well. Maybe Matty could come back from this, but what Meraki is good at this game and what the handling is more suited for him is the tyres. He's good at managing tyres. It's definitely going to help him here.
Yeah, I think so. Skyzy obviously still leads at this point. El Rey Guri still in second. This is not all said and done yet, folks. We have still got a huge race ahead of us. All the cars out on track. Lap 25 of 53. We will be under safety car conditions, I think, for yet another lap. So we will be allowing, I think Sasso is still trying to catch up with the rest of the pack. So we are going to be under safety car conditions for at least one more lap here, heading into lap 26. But truly astounding. What a complexion we have here. So much, it's just so incredible. We got Dave Gaming there in 8th place, 4 laps on his soft tyres. No doubt he's going to have to box again, I think. Peya down in 9th. He's going to have Meraki all over his tail. Matty D13, little bit of work to do. 6 laps accrued on his medium tyres. Surely they're going to be put to work to the very end. Jorian van Geffen, 2-lap-old softs. And you look at the front end of things. Tim Marduk now with a great chance to save energy. He'll be back in the lead fight. It is not over, folks. And we've got Alex Gillen in the mix. So many rivalries, so many battles. You don't see it very often, but you see it all the time in the Creator Series.
So many stories, and don't forget, some of these drivers do have some stories and rivalries going on in other series, and it's just continuing here as well. And I love the journeys that these drivers have come across in the Creator Series. We have drivers that have started lower down, trying to make their way up. We have drivers who want to redeem themselves. We have drivers that want to keep up that consistency. We want drivers who want to get one leg over each other. It's just amazing. We've got Razin Chai on a wheel trying to redeem himself. We've got Tom, a champion of the Creator Series, in 6th. That's worked out very well with this strategy. He's done well with him being on the hard side before. He could go in this as well. I think if Skyzy or El Rey Guri wants to win this one, those two have got to work together until the last possible moment, and that's where they could put your famous word into action. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to take those famous words out of your mouth.
Well, let me just say, prepare yourself for probably one of the most dramatic ending of a Creator Series race you'll ever see. I mean, to be fair, we've had it all. The sprint race itself was full of drama, full of action. We witnessed lots of different things. We've had safety cars in abundance, already probably more than we had throughout the entirety of last season, as now the safety car makes its way through towards 130R. And indeed, the safety car will be in this lap. So the current complexion we have right now, Skyzy leading the way with El Rey Guri in 2nd, Tim Marduk in 3rd place, Alex Gillen down in 4th, Rasin Chai in 5th, Tom down in 6th, Ricky Rick in 7th. He's still in contention too. Dave Gaming on soft tyres. How's he going to get on with 5 laps accrued on them already? Let's wait and see. As now Skyzy takes them through the Casio Triangle up towards the line, and he'll put pedal to the metal for the 3rd time in this Grand Prix now as they make their way down through towards turn 1. It's Skyzy with a healthy advantage. El Rey no way near close enough for Tim Marduk all over his tail. 2/10 all that separates them. We have a race, folks.
The top 7 are on at the same tyres, so it is even Stevens for the top 3 and plenty of chance for Team Marduk to get some advantage and maybe try and get past these two as well, but they're all within this train now. No one has made a move in the top 7. They just want to play easy at this point. They don't want to use that much battery, because the more battery you lose, we've seen that with El Rey Guri trying to keep up with Skyzy. He just lost so much, and he wasn't able to carry that momentum before the safety car. So what Ben is doing is absolutely perfect. He's just staying within the tail of these guys, and he's not using that much ERS. Scrap that. He's using the ERS now. He wants to get that advantage now. Meraki trying to get past Peya, but not doing so at the moment. I think everyone is just waiting for the first lap after the restart to happen, because otherwise carnage will ensue earlier on as well. But Yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. Meraki, though, he's on the charge. He's on those mediums. He's got to get past these drivers as soon as possible. Otherwise, him going on the mediums is meaningless, George.
Yeah, lap 27 and 53. Meraki now having a look on the back of Peya. Inside line, heading through towards Casio Triangle. Meraki brings him down straight away. And now beginning lap 28 at 53. He's now 9th in the top 10 as they head down the long straight now. Matty D13 might fancy a move heading in towards turn 1 as they now hustle their way around on this new lap. Here at the front of the order though, M-Sky Z still unperturbed up at the front. Ricky Rick also trying to gain on Tom for that P6.
Ricky Rick is on a comeback. He has that penalty, but that's not phasing him at this stage as well. He's doing very well on those hard compounded tyres, but he's got the chasing Dave and Meraki on fresher, soft and medium rubber that want to have this opportunity to pounce right now, but we know he could defend for his life. He is the Mexican, for goodness sake. He is on a man mission to get his first point in the Creator Series, and he's doing a great job by doing so thus far. The top two still within 4 tenths per second and stretching up the gap between those two and Timo Marduk as well. Timo Marduk pulling the gap to himself and Alex Gidden as well. The main drama that's happening is between Ricky Rick and Tom. Ricky Rick is catching up to Tom in towards Spoon Curve, and he's doing a massive job to see if he can try and get past those R's. They're doing a decent job for the AlphaTauri man. This could be good for him, but as soon as he gets past Tom, he's got to clear about 3 to 5 seconds in order to pretty much keep the position.
Yeah, well, it's getting nice and tight through the Casio Triangle once again. El Rey Guri all over the tail of M-Sky Z. The question is, does he have the momentum utilising the DRS when it becomes active? We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, just enabled this lap. Not necessarily functional now here at lap 29 at the very start of the lap, but still closing up to the back of M-Sky Z. Dave Gaming and Ricky Rick coming together as well. Dave Gaming able to hang on here and take 7th place away. So that has allowed Dave Gaming, utilising those soft tyres, to break away from Meraki, who was a major threat at the safety car restart. Another major threat is, of course, Jan van Heffen, who's on the tail of Peya as they now manoeuvre their way through the S's, heading up through towards Dunlop at turn 7 and through towards the Degners. Up at the front, though, El Rey Guri back on the tail of M-Sky Z. He's just not letting him go here, Jess.
Nope, he's not. He's not giving any out of room between these guys as well. This is absolutely remarkable from the top two. They're working together once again, like you were saying. Meraki, though, he is not waiting around to try and get past Moop. He made a little bit of mistake towards 230R. They're banging rules as they head towards Spoon Curve. Meraki's got to send it. And there's a bit of contact between the pair of them as well. It's not ideal. It's losing him a bunch of time, and they're already out of DRS to Dave Gaming. Yeah,
they are battling now, heading down towards 130R. Meraki certainly, I don't think, was necessarily happy with that situation. Further back, Jan van Heffen looking to try and manoeuvre his way around 130R this time against Pay. A very risky business, but heading it towards Casio Triangle. They all get through potentially unscathed. They certainly do. GB68 waiting in the wings in behind as well. Further up, Tom getting closer and closer to the back of former teammate Rasi Chai. So much closer that he's going to make the move. Heads into P5 and Thomas ends for Alpine.
Yeah, Tom is doing all he can to get himself into the mix as well. GB68 coming his way back up. He's also on the medium tyres, and he's got past into 11th place. Yellow flag, and that was another AlphaTauri of Europe. He's had a bit of an off. I wonder what happened there.
Well, just manoeuvring his way off the circuit, I think, coming together with the battles that were happening. I think Matty D13 was behind it. Jorit's got off again, and it certainly hasn't been an easy restart to this race for him. Lap 30, and it seems to be crumbling for Jorit Jan van Heffen, who on soft tyres, this is not a position he needs to be in, and effectively, unfortunately, unless he have a safety car, his race is over.
Yeah, I think for Yori, he's already out of DRS with that mistake, unless we get a safety. We already had, I think, 2 or 3 safety cars so far will always pass the limit, so yeah, it's going to be a huge shame to him, but sometimes it is what it is. They don't have much practice if they get called in at the last minute, but We'll see, he could still potentially get faster laps. There still could be other drivers that could make mistakes, so it's not over yet.
Oh.
Don't give up. There has been some mistake made at the front. That's allowing Team Marduk to try and go for the move past our Guri, George.
Very nearly went into the back of MSkyZ, went very late into Casio, and now a great chance here for Team Marduk heading in towards turn 1. Doesn't take it. El Rey very late on the brakes, heading through turn 1 as they now look to ascend through the slalom. Great chance though for Team Marduk, who is currently situated in behind the Red Bull. Once again, we're seeing Ferrari and Red Bull coming together in racing. This time though, it's Suzuka at turn 7. They're all orderly, at least for now, but a very near miss between El Rey Giri and MSkyZ, and very nearly an opportunity for the Aussie Team Marduk.
That was almost an opportunity that he would have pounced right away, but the top two really were pretty much on it quite quickly after that mistake, to be honest, and they're going to try and stretch that gap just a little bit more as well. And all of this is bringing Alex Gill and Tom Raz into the mix as well. Even Dave on those 10-lap-old tyres. We know Dave has to stop again. Some people have to try and make the one-stop work. There's certain people that will be forced into a two-stop race, and they may have to change their strategy on the fly.
Yeah, they certainly will. Well, many of them would have had to change their strategy on the fly due to the number of safety cars we have had through the course of this race now as they make their way through 130R. Once again, this time Tom closing up on the back of Alex Gillen. And next up, Casio Triangle once again. MSkyZ slight in front, holding on to that near 4/10 advantage. It now extends to 4.5 tenths as they hustle and bustle their way down the long straight. Good chance here now for Team Marduk, in fact, getting right within the aero. But obviously some straight line speed differences between the Ferrari and the Red Bull here. But a great chance though for Team Marduk to break out of the aero at the same time, cool down the engine, and also at the same time save wear on his tyres.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing at this stage. I think we're seeing a similar situation. Once the first half of this little stint is over, they're not pushing too much, because if they do push too much, they're going to hardly have ERS to last when they push at the end for the final few laps. So I think Ben is just waiting for the right opportunity. As soon as he sees the top two make any ounce of mistake, that is when he's going to go for it. But he's not going to go for it yet. He is playing it smart. As soon as he sees the opportunity to pounce, he's going to go for it. But right now, he's got 87% ERS. He's cooking in that regard in terms of ERS. So when he sees the likes of Alex trying to go for him, he can defend. And once he sees him closing him down now, Guri, he can attack. So he's in a good position right now, but he's got to think on his feet a little bit as well. He used a bit of overtake to go down the straight, and then boom, he's going at it again. But Tom, I think Tom sees this as a great opportunity to pounce as well. He's got plenty of birds to manage with as well, and he's got, I think, a decent gap behind him as well. I think pretty much the top 7 are in the fighting chance here. Unfortunately, Meraki is outside of DRS. He is catching a bit more, but him caught up with his fight with Ricky Rick, unfortunately, is not helping a little bit. But we are seeing Team at Marduk. He almost tried to get past El Rey Guri, but he can't do it, unfortunately, through the S's.
He got very close. El Rey was also very close to the back of MSkyZ heading through turn 1 once again. These two once again coming together, and it's a pleasure to watch every time they do. MSkyZ now hurtling up through towards turn 7 with the Red Bull in hot pursuit. The Decada corners now on offer for the top 2 drivers in this race. And I tell you what, again, El Rey Guri getting so close and personal with MSkyZ as they now send it up through towards the hairpin. And now sends it up the inside as well, and stepping out the rear. El Rey Guri, a major mistake.
No.
Heading out of the hairpin, he drops down to P5, and that has seen him out to the top 2 equation. Tim Marduk ascends, with Alex Gillen joining him. Tom moving up into 4th as well. It's all changed immediately on lap 33.
Wow. History is not going to repeat itself for this part of the race. We thought El Rey Guri has it, but he made that mistake, and now Team Marduk is coming into the fray. He's now going to chase down Skyzy for the race win. We've seen that many times before, and if he does this could be a good chance where he could extend his lead in the championship. Quite a few people in the chat were predicting that this was going to happen. Even Tom97 was predicting something is brewing. Well, something just happened, and El Rey Guri is down into 5th spot. But Team Marduk knows when something's gone on. He is pushing now. I said, wait for the right moment. Don't go for it until something interesting happens. Something interesting has happened, and he's going for it.
Tom Martinez, the prophet, has come up with something's brewing.
Yes.
Something did indeed brew, and that was El Rey Guri's race being turned upside down. Meraki has now overtaken him, so has many others. What has happened to El Rey Guri? He's losing places hand over fist. He's lost out to Ricky Rick and continues to drop down the order. This is truly baffling. A race turned upside down in the small matter of 33 laps where he has existed in the top two, but in one split second, one brief moment, heading through the hairpin, it has cost him everything. He's now down to 10th. Just what does El Rey Guri have to do in order to win a feature, or should we say main race, here in the Creator Series?
We've been saying all along, will he be able to get maximum points? Could he be the first driver to do it? But unfortunately, we may have given him the whole commentator's curve of death, which is a bit of a shame. But I think it was an instant with Raz and Chide that got him all fired up, unfortunately, which was a huge shame. It will be interesting to see if El Rey Guri picks up some damage from that.
A move for the lead here now, and it could yet become 3 wide. Not two, double overtakes. It is for Alex Gillen, who takes the lead of the race. Here on lap 35, he took 2 Aston Martins, only the small matter of a number of laps ago at 130R, but he's gone and done a double overtake against his current rival here in the Creator Series to take the lead on lap 35. Astonishing from the man who won the Brazilian Grand Prix last time out, and is now looking to go back to back with race wins this season, but there's still a long way to go.
He is on it like a car bonnet, Alex Gillen. Take about 2 double overs takes in the space of one race. I have to say that's the move of the whole Creator Series, I think. Alex Gillen is on fire, and he's putting his advice he's said on the channel about setups to good use. He's put on, I would say, the perfect setup, the perfect strategy, and I think there's one word I'll have to say. He's the mastermind right now. He's got patience, he's picked the right strategy, and he's able to go for moves that not many people would expect. Bring it on. It's Team Armada versus Alex Gillen for the race win, and I'm all for it. This is going to be great. I can't wait.
Sit back, get the popcorn out. This is the one the fans wanted to see. Team Marduk and Alex Gillen going side by side down through towards turn 1. Ferrari powertrains aplenty. The Ferrari itself hits the front. Team Marduk, the Aussie, battering down Alex Gillen, making him, forcing him to remind him that he is still one of the very best in this championship. Gillen now reduced to second, but this is far from over. A battle that will extend over the next several laps that we have remaining here in this race. Remember, it all ends on 53. This race is certainly going to pan out with 2 very high notables, 2 huge personalities in the F1 gaming scene. Let's not, though, forget about MSkyC. Tom, what about Rasin Chai? It's a DRS train all the way down to P7 with Meraki hunting down Dave Gaming.
And I've seen someone in the chat saying Ben versus Alex part 150. I mean, there's multiple battles we've seen in the Creator Series and in other series as well between these two. They seem to go on, and this is long overdue. We haven't seen this in a long time, and it is really great to see as well. But if any of those two make a mistake, Skyzy could come back in this as well. If I was Skyzy, I would be the patient one. You've got to be patient, because if the top 2 not be patient, then Skyzy could take on and get this race win. So this could be very interesting. Let us know who you think is going to come out on top for this one. Tom is up to 4th place out of all of this. He could sense an opportunity as well. He's got plenty of ERS battery to use as well. Dave is doing a decent job, by the way, on those soft tyres and keeping up with the top 5. But Meraki is going to have something to say on the matter. The driver who had been on the softs earlier on, up the inside of Dave Gaming, up into 6th place. And he's now within that DRS train. He thought that he would lose out time due to him having a bit of an incident with a Ricky Rick, but that's not letting that phase him. Meraki is back. Don't count him out for the win of this Grand Prix.
No, absolutely not. And unfortunately for Dave Gaming, I think those soft tyres are finally coming to their bitter end right now. He's already lost out on losing out here on DRS to Meraki after that move has taken place. And El Guri, I'm sure, will be licking his lips at the prospects of perhaps taking a place back after losing out on P2 in truly dramatic fashion earlier on. Tim Marduk, though, leading the way. Alex Gillen, though, far from done. He is still within proximity of the Ferrari that leads here at this point. MSkyZ in third for the Alfa Romeo team, with Tom in behind as well. Rasin Chai, the current Creator Series champion, remains down in fifth and closing in very steadily on Tom in behind. Here comes Alex Gillen now, takes the lead around 130R, a tremendous way to do it, and he's done it there before already through the course of this race, and now leads heading through Casio Triangle, but can he hold on to it heading down the long straight, because Tim Marduk will have DRS heading down the start-finish line through towards turn one, gets into the aero, runs alongside Gillen now to retake the lead of the race. Strap yourselves in, folks, this is going to be one hellacious ride.
And pretty much Alex Gillen and Tim Marduk, it's around about a few...
Safety car!
Safety car again! That changed the course of this race once more. And I would expect everybody, if they got a spare set of soft left, go on a set of softs to the end of the race. We see Meraki do it, so I think everyone else is going to try and do the same thing. That is a shame for the Sauber driver, but great news for us viewers as we get to see another restart and some change of strategies here. Oh my God, I thought we ran out of safety cars, but we still got more to go.
Well, I
don't know where this is going to end.
I mean, this is truly astounding. I mean, as it stands. I mean, Tim Marduk, I struggle to understand whether this is good or bad news for him. Of course, it doesn't change in terms of where he is on track. He's still leading this race. Meraki, it probably doesn't matter neither here or there, though it probably does matter to the extent that no longer will he be on faster tyres. Effectively, everyone is going to be on the same tyre for the remainder of this race. If they've got soft tyres left to use, then that will put them at an advantage. What I will say is everyone in the top 5 has not used a single soft set of tyres through the course of this race. So if you are in the top 5 right now, you are in the prime position. Now, what I will say is, well done to Matty D13, well done Zafso, they pitted earlier than anybody, so they'll have a great chance to make some serious places here. Tim Marduk has got to come in, and I'm sure he will. Yes, he does. They're all coming into the pits. In the meantime, let's go say hello to our man with a plan. It is Scott. Scott, what's going on, my friend?
I'm here. It looks like Persia and Ricky Rick were in contact. I don't know what to say. I'll just let it play.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Would you like to see it from the other point of view as well? Because I've got
yeah.
Let's do it. Again, I don't really know what to say, so I'm going to let you guys say whatever you want about it. This is Persia's point of view.
Me pousse pas, frère! Mais me pousse pas, frère!
Oh, he had nowhere to go.
Mais c'est une dinguerie de faire
No
ça,
idea what
putain!
he's saying, but he's certainly not happy about it.
Oh my goodness
So
me.
that is what has just happened. I don't know, guys. I'll leave that up to you.
Well, I tell you what, never nice to see it, though. I mean, Scott, though, with everything that's transpired, probably the battle that the viewers have all come and wanted to see. What I do want to add, though, and if I'm not mistaken, has Alex Gillen just retaken the lead of the race in the pit lane?
Yes, he did.
Goodness me. Well, there we have it. Gillen has got the lead of the race now. I mean, Scott, your reaction to this current situation? We've got Gillen, Tim Marduk, MSkyZ, Tom Rasin Chai. In there, you've got a couple of former and current champions. You've got Tim Marduk, runner-up back in season, I think it was season 4. And then on top of that, we've got Alex Gillen in the fight as well, also a former champion. I mean, let's just digest this for a minute. I mean, this is an astounding battle that we're now seeing out on track.
Yeah, and Alex Gillen's been on form. To be fair, like there's a lot of drivers that have been on form today, but again, two of risky moves. Look at this. I can't believe he takes this 3 wide. Again, everyone lets it happen behind and just makes this look easy. Like, we have some amazing drivers today, but Alex especially has just been absolutely kicking absolute ass. We've had a couple of other things in case any viewers were interested in what happened a bit earlier. This was a bit of contact between Meraki and Persia, who were going at it. So sorry, Meraki goes right in there against Ricky. You know, a little bit of wheel banging, and then of course Ricky comes back into that. He's not giving that place up. They're going for it, and the end up Meraki does get this with the medium tyres that hard. But I thought that was a bit interesting to watch as well. He gets too much of the curb here. but does get the overtake done. Anything else that was missed off is Yora. We all love Yora, SRC Yora. He's very nice. Unfortunately, I don't know if Persia broke early or if he broke late. It's one of these ones, right? So we're just coming out of turn 1. Boom! Damage on the wing. Kind of just takes him out of contention because there was no safety car as well. So he was a bit raging about that, to be fair. But I thought this moment was a little bit interesting as well. This is Elray, who could potentially have just thrown away a race win because he's been really fast. And he does it in a bit of a silly way, like just goes for that move. There's not really the space there, but Skysy does leave technically just enough space. He might be a bit gutted at that because he was on point to potentially be a race winner. I think that's all the clips I've got for you now. But yeah, there, everyone, you've been caught up to the clip book section.
Was he caught up in the moment, Scott, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think they were just kind of used to overtaking and they just maybe weren't on the same sync. But, you know, these two have history as well, so it's like I'm always on the edge of a knife while I'm watching these two up at the top for a race. We all know what could happen, especially last season as well. So a bit gutted to see that because we could have had even a bit more spicy drama later.
Well, we saw lots back at Bahrain and Saudi as well, and unfortunately it was the end of Elray on that occasion. Scott, thank you so much as well as ever. We'll see you soon, I'm sure. We're going to head back to the track. And once again, it is Alex Gillen out in front. I mean, Jess, the complexion is unreal. I'm sitting back in my chair. I'm baffled. I mean, Gillen managed to get the jump on Tim Imodic. I mean, we talk about Ferrari and their pit stops in Formula One. I mean, it hasn't worked out again for them this time. And Tim Imodic, and Hayden Gullis has just left the session, so he's having technical issues by the looks of it. So he's having problems. We got Gillen now, who's overtaken Tim Imodic for the lead of the race. I mean, this has got to list on somewhere high on the rankings of most dramatic Creator Series races of all time, surely.
I always tend to get involved in one of the dramatic Creator Series races. Every time I'm in the box, some crazy things happen, and we get to do this all over again for the 4th time. The safety car is in this lap. We've got Alex and Elray on mediums, Chesnoid on mediums, so is everyone else on softs. Who's got the strategy right today? Who hasn't? Who's going to win this Grand Prix? We want your predictions in the chat. Don't worry, we will hydrate because this is going to get absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
and Alex is off.
Heading through the Casio Triangle. Alex leaving nothing to chance. There's a 5-second penalty. And I was going to say, was that another safety car? Elray losing it, but it's pedal to the metal for the 4th time in this race. And Alex Gillen leads the way. Now he's enlisted medium tyres for the rest of this race, not content with going to the softs. Maybe he didn't have a set left, but surely he must have, as he hasn't used a single set through the course of this race. Tim Imodic in second, still hunting him down. He'll have the advantage of the better tyres in the initial laps, so a great chance for the Aussie to maybe even get past and break away from Alex Gillen at the front.
Yes, Alex Gillen was pulling away on those medium tyres, and if he could do that for the rest of the race, that is golden. But Tim Imodic, he is expected to get past him because he's on the softer rubber. If he doesn't, then the softs are just not going to come back to bite him later on. Those softs can get to the end, but the mediums will be the more optimum tyre for around about 11, well, pretty much 5 laps to go, I would say. So Alex Gillen's in a great position right now, but Tim Imodic's probably going to wait until 130R to potentially go for the move, I think. But Alex knows that Tim Imodic is going to send some moves coming. I think he's going to put some pressure on him very early on as Meraki gets past Razin Chai in towards 130R. He's up to 5th.
Fantastic move there from Meraki, a necessary one to move higher and higher in the points, but he's 1.3 now away from Tom, who sits in 4th place. Tom also looking for moves. He's haunting the rear wing of M-Sky Z. A great chance now for the Alpine as it gets in deep. Tim Imodic also on the tail of Alex Gillen. 2 separate battles happening in the top 4 as they hurtle through turn 1 now. Gillen somehow, someway, holding on to the lead of the race here on lap 42 as Tim Imodic on faster tyres still pursues and gives chase to his title rival, and his rival certainly where it comes to racing. Yellow flags again in sector 1. Yorit has retired in the pits. Commiserations to him. He's had a tough day.
He has had an awful day, unfortunately. Not the way he would have liked his campaign to go as a reserve driver, unfortunately. But no safety car, which means 17 drivers still within a chance of getting this one as well. Bearing in mind there are certain drivers that have got time penalties. Nogueira trying to get past Matty D in towards the 230R. Matty D defending to the right-hand side. Nogueira attacking from the left. Can he do it just before heading towards Spoon Curb? He could try and take the outside line. And it looks like Guerra's got this one coming on. Fifth contact. Oh, pile up from Ricky, Matty and Nogueira. And that's just not what you want to do at this stage.
No, Nogueira's out. Matty's at the back as well. We've got Chesnoid, I think, who got caught up in all this too. Whether there's any further damage further up, still yellow flags up in Sector 2. Dramatic scenes here at the, shall we say, the initial laps after the restart. DRS now enabled, of course not in use down in the initial stages on lap 43, but still nonetheless on offer. GB68 now also losing out on the place, but runs wheel to wheel with El Rey Guri in towards turn 1. Contact between El Rey and GB as they circulate through the first corner. The Aston Martin able to take P7, but it wasn't without its risks.
And Matty D is out of the race. He decided enough's enough, so that makes it our fourth retirement in this Creator Series race, which a bit of a shame and not what he wants, especially when there's people fighting to stay in F1 where he just got promoted into the F1 scene. So not ideal for him, but ideal for drivers who are looking to score some good points. Curve, by the way, in 11th place. This is a very decent race so far for him. He hasn't got any penalties either. He can climb his way up the order. This is huge for Curve. He's doing very decent for his standards.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, folks, we're coming into crunch time. 10 laps of magic still to come. Tom now, we're running on board with him in P4. And certainly a former champion that is looking to ascend here at Suzuka could yet happen as they now round 130R. Meraki also joining the fight here in the top 5. DRS all the way down to P6 here in this train with GB68 a whole second away, but looking to break back in DRS contention as they now circulate through the final corner out of Casio Triangle. Down the long straight this time around. GB68 with the fastest lap. A move for the lead. There's no Tim and Marnock after nearly losing his front wing. Oh, Gillen! No! Goodness me! Gillen's round. Massive collision with Tim and Marnock coming through turn 1. Wow, that's going to be controversial.
That is going to be controversial indeed. I wonder what could have been for these two as well. Turn 1, there's always an incident bound to happen at the later stage of the race, and unfortunately those two rivals have come to blow, and it is now Team Amada versus Scully for the race win. But I think Alex could have gone. Like, he's got severe damage. He's struggling with his tyres. He's overheating.
Well, Tim and Marnock now in the lead, but have there been any consequences to that moment through turn 1? I mean, wheel to wheel between Ben and Alex Gillen. It was very furious heading down the long straight. We saw Tim and Marnock weaving to the inside. Of course, Gillen very quickly tried to cover it off. Whether it was more in haste, whether he should have, I'm not quite sure. I think in honesty, I think Ben was lucky to keep his front wing, but immediately dashed to the outside. It looked like he had the lead. Gillen tried to contest it, got it wrong. I mean, in the meantime, I'm going to risk it. Let's go to Scott. Scott, what have you got for us?
I am here. I'm ready.
Yes!
Just in time. Let's go. Right. I've got.
What timing, mate? What timing?
We've done this. I'm actually going to go with Alex first because you can see better from his point of view. This, honestly, I don't know. That's the contact of what's just happened, right? So just go right back to that for a little second. Right here, it looks like there's not a car space ahead of him, right? So it looks a bit unfortunate. I think Alex is lucky to not be DNF'd, but you know, you can only do what you can do. This is Ben's POV. Let's see, just coming in. Looks like there's a lot of space. You can't even see the contact. From, like, if you were watching Ben's stream, you just would not know that something has just went and happened.
Oh, Alex,
there.
know when to give up.
He thinks that Alex should know when to give up. Alex thinks Ben's the worst driver in the Creator Series. That's where we're at right now in this moment in time. Also, heartbreak has literally just been an absolute heartbreak for this moment as well. Let me just get us like here. This is what Nogueira gets touched from behind by Ricky, and the pain in Nogueira's face hurts my heart. But he's tried so hard. He's just got touched. He's right off. Matty gets caught up in it as well. Just absolute heartbreak in these last few minutes. I'll let you get back to the race.
Yeah, we got a huge race happening. Thank you, Scott, for that. But MSkyZ now battling for the lead of the race, heading in towards the Casio Triangle. And unfortunately for MSkyZ, on that occasion, coming into the final chicane, unable to get that move done. But he will have DRS down the long straight. And certainly, TMM Marduk is going to come under the brunt force of MSkyZ, the Frenchman down the inside in his Sauber Alfa Romeo. Down the inside, through turn 1. The championship contender from last season, championship contender renewed, is now leading here at Suzuka.
Skyzy is leading once again, like we've seen him for the majority of this race. He got the move, he licked the stamp and sent it, and it is not over until it's over, because he's going to try and pull the gap, but he's still got people chasing him down. We got Tom, we got Meraki, we got Razin Shai in the fray as well.
Well,
what Skyzy's got to do to keep this win, he's just got to pull away, and he's doing so at the moment. He knows what he's got to do. He's got the ERS. It's hammer time. I think Skyzy's got this in the bag. Look at how he's pulling away right now.
he certainly is pulling away. This is typical from Skyzy. We've seen this time and time again, where he loves to pull away. As soon as he hits the front, as soon as he has the clean air, he unleashes the power of the ERS and also the power in his own ability as a driver. He is so competitive, so furiously fast. In behind as well, Tom getting closer to TMM Marduk. Is the Ferrari's day done? Is his moment in the sun complete? Will he no longer feature at the front? I gotta say, he looked a little bit rocky heading through Casio Triangle. Is there any sort of wing damage, any body damage on that car right now? Tom now looking to stir things up. Immediately side by side, Tom going for second place. It's oh so easy, oh so simple. The Alpine now moves into second, and now ascends higher than TMM Marduk, with GB battling for P6 as well.
Now, I'm not going to say much stats about winners, because when I last talked about winners in the sprint race, something completely opposite happened. So I'm just going to wait until the end of this race to talk about winners' stats here. But Tom was very, very patient. He waited for opportunities like this to happen. He probably wasn't expecting it to happen. He's just here for the vibes right now, and he's running in second place. This is great stuff. Maybe it's just a luck of him being at the Alpine factory this week. Maybe that's giving him the vibe to do well. What do you think, George?
I think it's the tips I gave him when we were at Enstone, and that personal training I gave him in the rigs as well. I'm taking full responsibility for this Tom performance. He's currently second, and now broken DRS on MSkyZ for the lead. This is far from over here at this point. Tom, no doubt, is going to dump the battery and look to try and close the gap between he and MSkyZ, as we now witness the cars now stretch down through towards 130R. Meraki in fourth place, still very much in this fight as he looks to try and close down on TMM Marduk's Ferrari, who I'm sure is limping and lurching forward, trying to defend at least a podium for now, as we now cruise in to yet another lap in this truly astounding Creator Series race. Across the line they go, down the straight, rear wings open, chance for the Williams, darts to the inside, very much like it would have done under Damon Hill back in '96 to win the title. He now moves into third and is looking to cruise up after Tom here in the dying moments of a sensational battle in this truly magical race. It is lap 48 to 53. Skyzy still leads.
Skyzy still leads from Tom in second, and I don't think we would have predicted this, George, going into the end of this race with the top three car. I mean, it could all change very quickly in the next few laps, and we thought it was going to be Skyzy and Alway Guri fine for it, and then we thought it was going to be Alex getting on team at Marduk, but no, it's between these three at the moment, and Meraki was the driver who I said to watch out for, and he's within this train currently as well and chasing him down. And Skyzy knows that when there's a win coming, he's going for it, and he's got only 11% battery to use. He wants to break free of DRS from Tom. He wants this race win, and yeah, this is great to see from him. 1.4 seconds. He's absolutely flying, and we've also got Meraki chasing down Tom for second place. This will be a good last two challenge if he can make this stick.
Tom needs to get back within DRS, but he's losing place well, he's losing time, I should say. He's not losing places yet, but if this continues, he could yet be a victim to Meraki, who is definitely showing his true pace here at Japan. mSkyZ looking to take a first win of the campaign here this time after Alex Gillen took it last time, but surely, without any shadow of a doubt, Gillen will not be winning today after that huge tussle with Benjamin Daly at turn 1, as we now see them make their way through the S slalom section here in Sector 1 as they now make their way through. There's Tom. 1.6 away now for mSkyZ, another 2/10 applied off the back of mSkyZ, and now it's seemingly extending even more. Tom essentially defending a P2 here.
Yeah, I think Tom knows that the win is definitely off the cards. I think he's just going to try and defend off P2 at this stage, which I think he'll take in a heartbeat. I don't think he would have been expecting P2 going into this race as well. Again, like I was saying, he's just here for the fun, so he just wants to have a final few moments of this race. And we do know that from this point, the softs are not expected to be optimal for very long. One more lap and the mediums will be the ideal tyres. So who could get into this equation? El Guri on the mediums. He could be back in this, but bearing in mind he does have that penalty. So I think the softs are going to be giving up the ghost very soon. It is up to the creators how they manage it.
Yeah, well, 130R next, and just look how quick Meraki is. He has got the toe, he's got the speed. He doesn't need to make the move just yet. A calculated drive here so far from the Williams ambassador as he now looks to put his foot to the floor here now, beginning yet another lap 50 of 53, 3 to go. Meraki looking to extend himself from P3 to P2, and he's done it. Meraki now up into second from P19 all the way to the top end. He's now second in the classification, and Tim Marek has managed to jump Tom into third.
Who would have saw this coming? I think Tom would have thought, yeah, that's me getting P3. He didn't think to see what was behind, and I think that's what helped Team at Mardet there as well.
Yeah, well, I tell you what now, he's going to be looking at maybe a potential stellar result here as well as Benjamin Daly. It's not out of the question. We're unsure as to what happened with that sudden lack of pace off the back of the Ferrari, whether it was just the case that maybe he himself was a little bit rattled after the moment with Alex Gillen earlier on, or whether the car has actually got to the point where it is damaged. But he is now getting himself into a position where I think he might actually challenge Meraki here, but he does need to get back in within that second window and get back to within DRS contention, and right now he is. He's 9/10 away, just under a second, with every chance of closing on Meraki, and he's closing in quick here, Jess.
Look at that. He was able to get past Team Mardet, and then he's pushing for the race win. I thought Scardy had this in the bag, but no. Meraki wants to join the party and do the last two challenge. I don't think he was expecting to do this around this track, but he loves this track. He loves track which has this flow to it. That's what he's good at. He's good at managing the tyres, and he's just got to put the hammer down now. We see that Scardy may have just pushed a little bit too much in certain parts of the lap, and we do know that Meraki is the tyre whisperer. Is that characteristic going to help him in those last few laps? We're going to have to wait and see.
Yeah, we certainly will have to wait and see indeed. Tim Marek, though, back in second place contention. 6/10 away. This has been the craziest race I think we've ever seen in Creator Series history. It's definitely up there. Tim Marek seemingly with a second wind, looking to try and pull out a last gasp effort for P2 in this race that looked to have fallen off. It looked to have disappeared here in these closing stages. 51 of 53. Tom now still in contention as well. Not forgetting Rastin Chai, of course, current champion, still in the mix here for Aston Martin. GB68 still doing battle with El Guri for the back over a battle for P6. mSkyZ, though, still nursing his gap at the front. Meraki, though, nip and tuck. He's getting closer. He's trying to break down the delta, but it's very difficult when you're outside DRS.
Yeah, when you're outside DRS, unless you're within it, it's so hard to just close in a little bit. So all Meraki's just going to hope for is Skyzy's tyres is giving up the ghost, but it hasn't. You can see that he wants this race victory. So I think Meraki's just got to make sure that he's going to focus on defending P2 at this point, and if anything more happens in front of him, that's a bonus. So P2, I think, it's got to be his focus at this point, not worrying about P1 as much. If Skyzy makes a mistake, then he can focus on the race win, but I'm sure that he would take P2 in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure, but Skyzy is doing a stellar job out in front. I bet you he never thought, making his way through this race, that he would be crowned a race winner, whilst, of course, he was in contention. So much has happened through the course of this race, to the point now where, obviously, Skyzy's found himself clear up at the front end, of course, seemingly something that we would have seen regularly in Season 5, but it's now back again in Season 6. Meraki, with still a stellar drive on offer, I think without question my driver of the day, with a P19 to P2 performance. Tiamat Marduk now in third, with Tom down in fourth. It truly has been astounding. Tiamat Marduk looking to grab himself a podium here and potentially leave himself within an opportunity of still holding on to the championship lead, but I hate to say it, it may come and be contested by the likes of Skyzy now in the championship. We will, of course, await the points as they come through, eventually coming towards the end of the race. Meraki, though, with a stellar performance, I allude to him being a driver of the day. He definitely is that for me. I mean, to go from where he started, Jess, from 19th on the grid up to P2, that is no mean feat.
That is no mean feat at all. I think he's definitely one of my driver of the days thus far, because of the fact that he was tenacious, he did not give up, and no one would able to get those softs to last this long, apart from the tyre whisperer himself. So GB68 does get past Araguri up to 6, and he's going to pretty much stay there because he doesn't have any penalties. But yeah, I think without that potential incident between Tiamat Marduk and Alex, I would have given to Alex for the double overtakes that he's made in the race. And I still think that's one of my favourite moments of the Creator Series in general. But I think due to the amount of position he gained, I have to give it to Meraki. I don't know where the form has gone, because usually the guys in the chat vote for driver of the day, but we know where ours is going for.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, not sure whether we're going to have a poll in the live chat for you guys. Not quite sure yet. But nonetheless, for all we have seen, I think it goes without saying that Meraki definitely a deserved driver of the day performance. But up at the front end, Skyzy making his way down towards 130R. Pressure's off now. El Rey Guri moves up ahead of Ricky Rick as they look to do battle. They still go wheel to wheel by the looks of it, but all eyes to the front as now he makes his way off the back of a disappointing ending to Season 5. Meraki defending relentlessly against Tiamat Marduk further back as well as they look to duel over second place. But here in round 2, it's Season 6. It's Skyzy who wins the Japanese Grand Prix. Meraki finishes second. Tiamat Marduk a brilliant third.
And I probably just had a lump in my throat there. Absolutely, probably one of the Creator Series races that will go down in history as one of the greats, in my opinion. Amazing, amazing.
Truly astounding. What a performance. It has to be said. Skyzy, take a bow. You are a race winner in Season 6. Crossing the line, first and foremost. It's one thing to get, well, it's one thing to do it. It's another thing to get there, but he certainly did that. Meraki in second place. Tiamat Marduk, after the controversial moment with Alex Gillen, I'm sure it'll be discussed on numerous occasions. I'm sure we'll have a chat to him about it as well. But amazing stuff, to say the least. What a race you have been treated to, folks at home. Thank you, every single one of you, for tuning into it. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Let us know in the live chat of your reaction to that astounding F1 Creator Series race. There's one reaction I can imagine Skyzy having, and no doubt he's going to be absolutely thrilled. Meraki, the game has given him driver of the day. Jess, I think he is driver of the day.
Yeah, and I think the chat agrees with us. I think the chat agrees that he should be a driver of the day. And we just had in the comms chat who should we pick as our top 5 driver of the day. So Meraki, I have to say, is one of them. Should you want to pick a few, George?
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to go with Meraki. I think obviously I think El Rey has got to have a shout after that recovery. And I think also give credit to Tom, who drove an astounding race as well. I mean, moving to P5 from P11 on the grid. I mean, that is a sensational result. I also want to give MSkyZ one as well. I mean, starting P4, second row of the grid to eventually take victory like he did. Fully commanded. Let's take you through the results, folks. MSkyZ, your race winner. Meraki finishing in second place. Tiamat Marduk third. Rasin Chai in fourth. Tom finishing in fifth. GB68 in sixth. And then we have Ricky Rick in one of his debut appearances. Seventh place for him. Dave Gaming in eighth. Great drive on his part. Safso in ninth. F1 Damien, a great performance, P10 after the issues earlier on. Curves finishing in 11th. Hayden Gullis 12th. Elray Guri, Chesnoid, Noiguera. Alex Gillen losing out as well. We lost Matty and Yorit and Peya and Infratic. So there we have it, folks. Truly amazing. It has to be said. What a battle. What a race. I tell you what, my voice is on the brink. What a sensational Grand Prix. And I tell you what, that's exactly what we want to see. Of course, we haven't yet to see the real one yet, but the virtual one was definitely stellar, Jess.
Yeah, I think if the virtual one was stellar, I hope tomorrow's race is just as epic as well. Will we get a threat of rain tomorrow? I don't know, but yeah, you now get to vote for your driver of the day in chat. We picked 5 drivers who we think deserve it, and coincidentally, is a top 5 who finished in the race. So out of the top 5, vote for your driver of the day, and then we'll announce the winner at the end of the broadcast.
Yep, let us know, folks. Keep it coming. We will, of course, announce that winner very, very soon. But amazing stuff, to say the least. We will be joined as well by some of the drivers off the back of that truly eventful encounter. I mean, it has to be said, dramatic is one element. We saw some great racing, some great overtakes. I mean, it's kind of sad with what happened to Alex Gillen, Jess, because, I mean, off the back of obtaining such amazing results and certainly amazing after winning at Brazil first and foremost, but then 2 double overtakes in one race, and then for it to be turned sideways like it was, it is truly a shame for Alex Gillen.
I think I'm really upset with Alex because I think without that incident, I think he would have been one of my driver of the days.
Oh, Jess.
Won't expect. He had the right setup as well. It's just a shame it just all come crashing down like that. I think he has the right to be upset. That doesn't put him down for the rest of the season. He is a capable driver, and I know for Alex, I would be angry if I was in his situation.
Yeah, we have been having, I think we had some audio trouble there, so we might have missed a little bit of what Jess said there. Do apologise, Jess. But nevertheless, I mean...
That's Discord for you.
Yeah.
It happened to you as well. I couldn't hear what you said for a little bit.
I think Discord having a moment, I think definitely goes without saying. But amazing. What a race. A truly astounding performance. And I think we are going to have some interviews as well at some point. Of course, just waiting now on them to join. Obviously, we've got Tiamat Marduk as well as Meraki and MSkyZ, who will be joining us eventually. Just need to wait for them to join the waiting room so we can get into discussions. So sit back, folks. We will be bringing you those very shortly. But, I mean, off the back of that race, let's bring in Scott. Scott, just talk us through it because, of course, we witnessed many a great moment. I mean, can you give us your thoughts on the race?
It was crazy. It was chaotic. It had everything. It had heartbreak. It had triumph. There's like too much. Honestly, like the first half of the race, I was a bit sketchy on as well. But we had insane moments. Then we had a pile up at the start. Like, it just crazy, to be honest. All I need to say is just well done to like MSkyZ for just staying out of all trouble. Like, sometimes you just need to stay out of everything you can. I think some drivers will learn some lessons today of even when you should be allowed the space. You know, sometimes it doesn't always happen, and you can end up in a worse situation. You know, like I feel really sorry for people like Alex Gillen, like awful situation as well. And maybe he could have backed out as well, even if he didn't have to. You know, it's one of these things. I think sometimes we get a bit caught up in a 53-lap race, and like just crazy. Probably one of the best races I've seen, but. But that's not to take anything away from Meraki. He almost makes it look too easy, and really done a sort of Verstappen-esque performance today. It's a shame he couldn't get that first place, but do you know what? He got 19.
Yeah, he certainly did a stellar job. Discord, unfortunately, I think he's playing with us right now, guys, but we will, of course, bring you nonetheless. Scott, we'll be right back as well with more discussions, post-analysis, but we've got Tom joining us here in the commentary box as well. Tom, hello!
Hey!
How are you doing, sir? I mean, honestly, what a performance off the back of yourself. I mean, you must be a little disappointed that there wasn't a race win in it, but still, a huge podium, Tom. I'm going to give myself credit for all those tips I gave you when we went to Enstone.
Yes, my guy. Honestly, without George Morgan, I would not have been able to get myself even one position in this race. So shout out George Morgan right here. I'll put a frame above my bed, okay?
Yes.
I like the sound of that. Let's do that. I mean, Tom, that was a chaotic one. I mean, honestly, the battles that we had, insane performance. Off the back of many to just manage the consequences of the various safety cars we had, the big crashes. The sprint race was chaotic, but the main race itself baffling. Just talk us through it from your perspective.
Mate, I don't know how I've not touched as many cars in this race as I've ever done in any race, I don't think. It was absolutely spicy racing, but in the end it was a lot of fun. I mean, every single season it gets closer and closer and closer. You have to, go for more audacious moves. But I mean, the sprint race was a bit chaotic, I'm not gonna lie. I think that's kind of the case every single week. I'm not looking forward to next week already, I think, the sprint race. But because there's a lot of chaos. But, I mean, for the viewers, it's flipping fun, But, I mean, to be honest, from my POV, was perfect. I went through the field, went from P14 to P6. Could have done better, but you know what? I don't think you need to push your luck in a short race, sprint race. And then in the main race, oh my goodness, P11, P10, P9, P8, P7, P6, P5, P4, P3, and then I unfortunately lost out a bit on the end, but amazing racing. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to next week already, but just not so much the sprint race.
No, absolutely. I'm just trying to configure the scenes here now, guys. Obviously, it's been a bit chaotic, but obviously I've been using this broadcast package for the first time, so it's a bit crazy. But I
am bold now.
You're bold. You're Alex Gillen now for some reason. It wouldn't change it. It wouldn't change it. I don't know what's going on.
Wait a moment. Am I gonna get his points as well in this race? There's no way, right?
Well,
Come on.
I mean, why not? I mean, listen.
Yeah, zero.
Listen,
no.
I don't want. I don't. Well, no. From last week, you would have benefited, but
okay, true. If it's last week, I'm happy with it.
I mean, let's be honest. There was a lot of furosity out there. There was, certainly some very dramatic moments. I mean, were you caught up in anything severe through the course of the start of the race? Because we had.
Are you trying to provoke something right here?
Well, listen, I'm poking the bear here, Tom. So
I'm coming for you, Ben. I'm coming for you. No. I mean, it was very hard racing, very fun. I mean, that's the thing. You do a little bit of shaving, like you're shaving your beard. We definitely shaved some beards today. It was very close. Next time, I will make sure I'm in front of Ben at the end. But that was good racing in the end.
Yeah, it was tremendous racing. And Tom, looking ahead to the rest of the championship, we've got some great races coming up. We've got a fan vote, I think, coming up shortly, a Vote GP coming up for the next round. So what are your expectations? What are your hopes from that one?
I'll be there no matter what.
Top man. That's one thing we can count on is Tom, can't we? There we go. Incredible. Tom, congratulations on the podium, my friend.
Thanks, mate.
Top man. Tom, everybody, joining us here in the commentary box. What a stellar result. Another podium going to him for a former champion as well of the Creators Series. Next up, we're going to bring in the man who finished in third place. Let's bring him in. Tiamat Marduk joins us in the commentary box as well. Ben, dramatic race on your part. How are relations between you and Alex Gillen?
I'm sure he'll be thrilled with that. Alex loves finishing at the back. Look, it's a spicy one. It's always going to be spicy when me and Alex are involved. Talking about the incident, 50-50. I need to have a look at the footage again, but I had the overspeed on him, and genuinely I thought he would back out of it. Given that he had the mediums, he was going to have the pace advantage. He's so clever, and he was going to get me back later. I just thought, bide your time, get me back. But no, he went all in, quite desperate for turn one, trying to hold on to any track position. And we saw a similar incident in Brazil where Alex again tried to hang on to the track position at all costs, and the incident happened. So
Well, I mean,
it is what it is.
Hey, listen, the fans all wanted to see the battle between you two. I think you gave us a real treat. There was a couple of occasions where Alex pulled off some double overtakes through the course of that race too, which was quite dramatic and brilliant to see. But you yourself, your strategy seemed to work out, despite the number of safety cars you had to contend with as well. Obviously, there were some dramatics that occurred towards the end, I think, obviously, as a consequence of the collision with Alex. Was there any damage on your car? Because you seemed to dramatically drop off the pace with Skyzy ahead of you.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I'm not quite sure what the case is, because I was quite comfortable on the hards, but just like the start of the race on softer compound, like the medium and the softs, just didn't quite have the pace of the guys around me, which was strange. So I actually would have preferred for there not to be a safety car at the end there, but yeah, I think probably just not maximizing the first sector. And I had high wings, so I was a bit of a sitting duck in Sector 3.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the championship, though, I mean, you've got somewhat of a stranglehold at the top end, regardless, even whether you forfeit the top spot or not. You're still in a great position. And with it only being a small season, these results are so imperative, aren't they? Looking ahead, are you still confident?
Well, I'm missing a race at one point, so I need any advantage I can get. But yeah, it's not a bad position to be in so far.
No, still a long way to go. Fan vote as well coming up next week. What are your thoughts on that?
It's probably going to be one of those iconic circuits. It's got to be a European circuit, I reckon. We had Monaco last time. I'm not sure it's on the choice this time. So I'm thinking maybe a Silverstone or a Spa, maybe even a Monza if that's available. We'll see.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll go back to Spa and watch you and Meraki battle again up towards Lake Com. That'll be good. love to see that. But Ben, amazing result. Obviously, congratulations. Commiserations as well, because you were so close to the race win. But nevertheless, good points, big points. Championship is on. We'll see you for the next one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Skyzy deserved the win. I didn't have the pace for the win today, so GG's to those guys for getting one too. See you next week.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Top man. Brilliant. Benjamin Daly, everybody. A true sportsman here in the Creator Series, and always great having him with us as well. And now we get to have the one, the only, Skyzy joining us in the commentary box as well. Skyzy, welcome back to the podium. Here it has to be said, and a race winner as well. I mean, you must be absolutely thrilled. You were unlucky to lose the championship last season, but now you're a race winner again in the Creator Series. Here in round 2, you must be delighted.
Bonjour. Yes.
Bonjour.
Yeah, I was very unlucky last season, as you said, but that's part of the racing. But yeah, very surprised to get the win today. I did not really have the pace initially. Like, I messed up the quali, I messed up the sprint. Well, I got caught in some accident in front between Chamet Marduk and Tom, I think it was. So yeah, the sprint was a bit like meh, unlucky on my side. And I selected a very heavy setup, like downforce-wise, a bit like in Brazil. So the plan was just to be in front and to create a gap with the guys behind. But yeah, thankfully, Razin took a bad start, and I could overtake Noguera quite easily because he also did a mistake. And then it was between Array and me. It was quite clean and evenly matched because Array has a lot of pace on this track. So the plan was just to be smart with him and to create a gap with, I think it was Chamet in the first stint. And yeah, my step was working beautifully. Very quick into the sector 2. Sector 1 was a bit of a struggling for me on my personal side. And yeah, the plan was to go medium hard, so undercut very early, like box on lap 24-25, and to finish with the hards. Unfortunately, we got a safety car, which matched everyone. We all put the hards for the leaders. And after that, I was a bit annoyed because I didn't know what to expect. Usually when I'm in a JRS train, I'm slower because I don't want to destroy people in front of me. So I'm like braking early, turning early, etc., etc. But this time I was very optimistic about the pace. And obviously, Chamet and Alex got a little bit of contact, which was a bit of a luck for me. and after that I just could push with all I had with the remaining laps. I think it was like 8 or 7 laps. And finally some luck with the contact between those two. But yeah, pace-wise, it was good. For this season, I'm not the quickest in the quali pace for now. Still no pole position, but I've increased my race pace, which is better because we score point on race day. So yeah, I feel very good about that. A shame for Pierre because he had a good race also, but yeah, he had some contact with someone. But yeah, a good day for me. And yeah, we'll manage to take care of the pace we have, and we'll see on the next track.
Yeah, I mean, you've answered pretty much all my questions in one go.
Sorry.
You don't waste any time. But yeah, I mean, looking at it, we saw a great battle between you and El Rey. Of course, you two have had your history in the past. I mean, was there ever a point where you thought you might have lost the race?
Yeah, after the safety car. It's always a matter of who is in front. So yeah, after the safety car, I was like, well, I will drop back to third, fourth, maybe fifth. But I had some good pace into the sector 2, so I can just build a gap with the guy behind, and he couldn't catch me with the JRS after the chicane. So yeah, I was surprised to actually stay in P3. And after that, we all know what happened. And yeah, I could I forgot the word in English, but
I'm not sure whether he's finished or whether it's Discord. Incredible. Yeah, I think it's Discord. SkyZ, I don't know what happened there. I'm blaming technology. Sorry about that. Discord, unfortunately, is not having an easy time. But congratulations on the race win, and we'll see you for the next one.
Yeah, see you guys. Thanks for the race, and I hope you had a good one, and I hope the race will be better tomorrow.
Yeah, no.
From the real guys.
I'm sure it will be. Bonsoir. Yeah, thank you.
Bonsoir, guys.
Bonsoir, SkyZ. What a human being he is as well. Fantastic. SkyZ, everybody, race winner, of course, this season. And I think it's also prudent for us to announce that Meraki did win the driver of the day. So congratulations to him. And a huge shout out as well, Team at Marduk, for the raid. Welcome all the Team at Marduk fans. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for your support. I'm going to throw it back to Scott. Scott, because there's a lot of discussion and there's been a lot of talk around the incident by Tim and Marduk and Alex Gillen. Are we able to pull that back up for us to have another look at?
Yeah, you give me 1 second. Let's do that. Let's do that right now because it is a bit contentious, right? It's like Alex's contact with Ben. Let's get this here. To apologize. Okay. So hopefully we should be able to see that now. So let's jump in, right? See, I feel like this probably wasn't Alex's fault, but he maybe could have got away with it, right? So it's one of these things, I don't know. Let's get on board here. Coming into this, let's do it like millisecond by second. See, like, there's not space there for a car, right? So you wouldn't say it's Alex's fault, but he maybe could have got away from it because, you know, we're lap 44, everyone's the tyres are getting on a bit, you know. Oh, actually, sorry, the tyres are kind of relatively new. I just feel like this maybe could have not ended Alex's race, and he maybe could have got it, but at the end of the day, I feel like Ben probably, you know, as you say, can you really justify it too much? There's not really a car's width there. But, you know, they're great friends, they're great content creators, and, you know, we kind of like a bit of spice every now and again, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it on two sides, can't you? I mean, of course, Tim Marduk, he leads into the apex with his nose in front, but then, of course, you know, there is still the car there. So it's almost like one of those Hamilton-Verstappen Cop's Corner moments, isn't it? Heading through the right-hander out to the old paddock straight, isn't it? Pretty much spot on, in fact, what that incident was. But I mean, what a moment! And it has to be said, pretty much defined the race. Certainly when we had these two dueling for the lead at this portion of track. But lap 44 was a contentious one, Scott.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I feel like obviously Ben's not meant that end, because as you can see from his point of view, it's almost like Alex is not even there, right? It's like, you just don't really notice it. You've got the red, like, at this moment, the contact's happening. I guess we can see a red arrow slightly, but, you know, I see no shaking of the car. I see nothing, not even a reaction. by Ben Daly, right? It's only when he sees this warning contact that he actually acknowledges it on the stream as well. Very, very, it could be the game as well, just being a little bit iffy sometimes. Sometimes, you know, it can be a few inches out where there's maybe contact when it wasn't there. So it's very controversial, but will certainly be spicy near the end of the season if they're really close on points and we're coming down to moments like this.
Yeah, it certainly will be a special occasion. We are going to bring in, though, one more person because, of course, we need to discuss the man who took driver of the day through the course of this race today. We are going to be joined by the one, the only Meraki. Jake, what a Phoenix drive. Hello. Started P19. Second place. Not a bad day at the office. Was it second place? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was second.
Yeah.
It was like an unintentional P19 to P whatever attempts. I didn't because I bottled my qualifying lap.
Well, I mean, it was dramatic. I mean, we witnessed, obviously, one sprint race, which was...
Create a series, so...
yeah, I mean, let's be honest, create a series. I mean, we had safety cars pretty much at the same portion of circuit in both races on the same lap as well, which was kind of wild. But, I mean, from your perspective, I mean, you had battles through every portion of the timing tower because you were right at the back at the start, you were right in the midfield. You had a few moments where the safety cars weren't really in your favour. Yet you still managed to make it happen.
I was fuming on that first safty car restart. Where
We thought you were.
I box. I get to turn 4 safety car.
Yeah.
Then again, I only went down to P10, I think. So I lost 4 positions, but I think when that top group is as quick as it is, 4 positions is actually quite a lot in the grand scheme of things. But in the end, it still kind of worked out, I suppose. The second safety car kind of helped me for sure because my mediums were dying, and everyone else was on the hards, so they would have been quicker for the next couple of laps. And then, that was that. That's probably, I'm just happy.
Yeah, I mean,
that was fun.
I hate to say it. I mean, obviously the driver of the day victory is overshadowed somewhat by the collision between Ben and Alex Gillen. I mean, something you'd know about, of course, after that contentious battle you had with Ben at Spa. Yes, I'm bringing it up again because I can. You know,
if we're going down that route, I can cherry pick everything Ben has done. I feel like we've been here for about 4 hours.
Honestly, truly remarkable. I mean, listen, I thought these last first attempts were going to be put to bed, but you've obviously decided that you're going to do it anyway. I mean, what's happening?
No, I bottled my qualifying lap. I invalidated.
Oh, really?
So yeah, that's why I did one lap.
On purpose,
No, I messed up. I went wide on the exit of Degna 1, and I invalidated there. So the one that wasn't intended to be a back of the grid to wherever ended up probably being my most favourite one. So,
and not only that, you managed to get Inter's pole as well.
Yeah, yeah, but I think that there's a small technicality on this because the rule is now you got to set the lap within the first 6 minutes, minutes of the session.
You did.
You did.
They said I said it like 60 seconds or 30 seconds after.
Well, yeah, it finishes at the 11th minute, right? Finishes as soon as
that's what I thought.
Yeah, well, that's what we thought. So we put you down as the Inter's pole, but unless you've had it taken off you, apparently Ben's got it. So there we go.
I thought 17 minus 11 is 6 minutes.
It's 18. It's 18.
It's 18 minutes. Yeah, because start. We
right. So it was Ben.
We saw 17. We saw 17 when we crossed over to the broadcast. But yeah,
It's weird. I might make an argument for I started my lap before 6 minutes.
We might have to look at the rule, I think, a little bit on that. But I think if we're calling facts, then that makes sense because, of course, 18, take away 6 is 12. So obviously, but I mean, you gave it a good shot. You were only just outside the window, but still points on the table, still a chance at a championship fight. Ben's in the fight. After today, maybe not so much, but Gillen's in the fight. You're in the fight.
Yep.
Skyzy's in the fight. Big championship now, right?
Maybe. There's a pretty big chance I might not be here next week. But if I am, then I completely agree with what you just said. But if I'm not here next week because it's such a short season, then I'm in the mud. So,
well, I tell you what.
Hopefully,
with performances like today, you won't be in the mud much longer. But we want to congratulate you nonetheless on a podium, Jake. Truly outstanding performance, and we wish you all the very best. If we don't see you next week, enjoy your break.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you, Meraki.
Bye.
Thank you, Jake. Jake, everybody. Meraki, as we all know him, by content creator and Williams ambassador. And that, folks, pretty much brings us to the end. What a race, what a day, what a stream, what a broadcast. And certainly for me, as my voice now submits to RIP, we're now going to take you through the remaining moments on this broadcast. First of all, though, to you, Jess, favourite moment of today's Japanese race?
I've got to say the moves that Alex Gillen did, the double overtakes. That's my moment of the race, because I didn't think anyone could pull it off, and Alex Gillen pulled it off. So yeah, those are my favourite moments.
Well, Scott, what about yourself?
I have to agree, that moment around 130R when he overtook the two Aston Martins, I just think that's probably the best move of the season. And good luck to anyone to try and beat that.
Well,
Yeah.
somewhat some sort of a consolation prize for Alex Gillen, so we will give him that. But if you have a favourite moment, why not tell us about it on social media? Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. We have social medias available at F1 Creator Series. Be sure to check those out. If you've been tuned in, you brilliant lot, on Twitch, you can hit that follow button. Stay tuned in for the series. And if you've tuned in on YouTube, why not hit that big fancy red subscribe button and also hit the like button as well. And if you like what you see right now, I mean me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well as TikTok at It's George Morgan. Jess, where can they find you?
Jess Games 95 everywhere on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch and YouTube. You can find me there all in one place if you want to check out my socials.
Well, Scott, what about yourself, sir? Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me at F1 Scott on Twitch most days every week. Just pleasure to be here. Clipbook Scott is here. I've done another one, and this has just been what a crazy race. I can't wait to look back at it all.
And we wouldn't be the same without it, Scott. It has to be said. Truly remarkable. Thank you both for your expertise and your brilliance as always. And a big thank you as well to you fans at home for tuning in. Of course, we got more racing to come. Round 2, Chapter 2 complete. But on the day where a battle around Japan was fought, the man who would come across the line, M-Sky-Z, would return a victor here in Season 6. Can he win the championship, though? There's a long story ahead. Plenty more to come, and we'll see you there for it as well, folks. Do take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Goodbye. As soon as I find out how that works. Goodbye, all.